The time is 11 in the morning over here in sunny California. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my stream. The name is Max, also known as MKirin. My pronouns are they, them, and I am an author, VTuber, and you are watching my stream. And you're watching the Disney Channel. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely day? By the way, I right away see some lovely people in chat. I see Crab, I see Chips, I see Alexo, and of course the wrenches, the beautiful, amazing, incredible, and very handsome wrenches of Lady Kitty Lynn and Charlie Arlette. Everybody say hi to them. Yeah, yes! So Charles asks, Max, did you watch the Defunct Land Disney Channel theme video? I did! It was actually really emotional. I like that that video came out at the same time as H-Bomber Guy's oof sound video. And I like how they shared similar themes but are completely polar opposites. By the way, I'm sipping on some coffee right now. What are y'all sipping on right now? Hell yeah. Yeah. Hello, wonderful mods. Also, tea. Well, Alexa, you have to tell me, though, like, what kind of tea, though? What kind of tea? That is a very important question. Now, let me just go and double-check that, the post did go live on Twitter and on the socials. Okay, yeah, everything looks good. By the way, always very appreciated when people share the stream, by the way. Very appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh, British black tea. That sounds tasty. That sounds very tasty. I can't have black tea anymore because I can't have caffeine anymore because then I would self-destruct. I would, like, explode. Now you may be thinking, Max, aren't you sipping on coffee right now? I'm actually drinking decaf. I drink absolute decaf now. Chip says, I just finished some hot cocoa and turmeric and rose. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Oh my god. Turmeric is very good for you, by the way. Yo, Crab says food is coming soon, but Chucky milk later. Let's go. Let's go. So this is actually really fair. Charles says, I'm sure you can find decaf black tea somewhere. This is actually very fair. I guess, if I must be entirely honest, I haven't really gone through the trouble of finding it. In part because I wonder if it'll taste as good. By the way, note that I said feel, by the way. I wonder if it would taste as good. Then again, like, this decaf coffee that I have tastes great. It tastes incredible. It tastes like, just like the coffee I used to drink, but it's decaf, so I don't, you know, I don't shoot off into space like a rocket ship. By the way, I see that Cypher's here. Hey, Cypher. Nice to see you again. I love that Crab, by the way. Crab says, and I'll keep flexing on all of you, because Crab has all... Crab is the lord of all the Chucky milk. I love that. Honestly, I'm here for that. So yes, hello everyone. Today we're going to be having a very special stream, a different kind of stream. You know, we like to do creative stuffs here. We like to do, you know, chatting streams, you know, some role-playing game streams. And today we're going to be doing something special. Today we're going to be talking about books. Today I'm going to be ranking every single book that I read in 2022. We have about 40-ish books to go through. I will attempt to not do, like, very in-depth book reviews, but it is going to be happening. Also, by the way, hi Alex, nice to see you there. So yes, I do want to say, by the way, I want to, like, get this out the door as soon as possible, by the way. Don't judge me based on the books that I read. I originally, this is one of the reasons why I don't like sharing my book reviews or what I read, is because I don't like having the pressure of, like, impressing people with what I read. Life is too short to live that way. So consider this me cracking open the window so you can look into, you know, my personal life and what I read. I go through moods, as I've been talking recently. I'm currently in a nonfiction memoir kind of feel. So you will kind of see, like, me going through moods, by the way. I'm pretty sure that in 2022, I went self-improvement, true crime, back into self-improvement, into some fiction, some non-fiction, and then finally ending with memoirs. So, you know, this is gonna happen. Alex says, apparently sitting cross-legged while writing can be a bad idea. Oh my god, I can only imagine. Hey, everyone, be mindful of ergonomics. Be mindful of your posture when working for a long period of time. Do practice using breaks. That is very important. Charles asking, curious, did you include my work in progress? Of course I did. Of course I included your work in progress. That's a book I read. Yeah. And honestly, you know, I'm really happy that I read that book. It's really, you know. Yeah, like, of course it's here. Of course your book is here. Alexa says, so before we start, I want to share a dumb moment I had. Oh, hell yeah. I can't be the only one sharing their dumb moments. I was watching your video about starting to do this, and I only just realized that the file size was your age. Actually, fun fact. Okay. Oh, it's time for the deep lore. It's time for the deep lore, okay? So in my debut video, one of the things that I have on there is file size, and my file size is 32 megabytes, and it's actually not my age. It's deep lore, okay? So there is this a stupid conspiracy theory that Nintendo cartridges of Super Mario 64 contained an AI that would personalize the game for you. And this is absolute nonsense. It is ridiculous and dumb, but people believe it, and I've seen videos on it where people are like, yeah, this thing happened in my game, but no one else's. Like, in my game, Wario showed up, and people are like, the only reason that this could happen is because there's like an AI implanted in the game cartridge that activates based on how you like to play, and it's dumb. I hate that. I hate that theory. It's so ridiculous. But the funny thing is, the file size for Super Mario 64 is 32 megabytes, meaning that there's 32 megabytes of free space on the cartridge, because the cartridge is 64 megabytes, hence the name of the console, the Nintendo 64. So I thought that the lore is that I'm actually, a beta version of myself as a computer program was installed in Mario 64 cartridges as a way to playtest me. It is the deepest, super deep lore about my digital version of myself. And trust me, that joke wasn't there for anybody to get. That joke was there only for me. So yes, it is me. I'm the one who personalized your Mario 64 playthrough. I am the one who made it possible for Wario to show up instead of Bowser at the end. That was me. I did that for you, you know? I could tell, by the way, you know that one gravestone outside in the courtyard that says, you know, Luigi Forever 2024? That's me. I did that. I did that just for you. Yes, add this to the Max iceberg for sure. Oh my god. I can only imagine what could possibly be in there. This just in. Max is the reason why Wario says, "So long, gay Bowser." Yeah, it's true. It's me. I did that. That's me. That's me. I'm the reason why Mario says, "So long, gay Bowser." It's me. It's me. I'm the one who did it. I'm also the reason why Yoshi shows up, but you can't actually do anything with Yoshi. That's me. In some games, I let you play as Yoshi, but you know, you had to prove it to me. That's the way it works. Also, I can only imagine what would be in the MKirin Maxi iceberg. Like, I can only imagine. I feel like someone would have to like go through all of the Let's Plays, because I feel like there's deep lore. Specifically, if I have to give you like, I feel like our Chrono Trigger playthrough on Dango Duo has like max lore. Also, I feel like the iceberg should have 1 week, the song 1 week, because we sung it during Life is Strange. Crab says the only Mario I played was the one on the flip phones. There was a flip phone Mario? That and Snake and Apple game were the first. Yeah, okay, that's for sure, yeah. Oh man, Snake is goated. Snake is a classic game. Kitty says, I can make this. Oh my god. It should also feature... Oh, hey, Lassless. It's so nice to see you again. Oh my god. We're gonna be doing some book reviews today. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Crap says, I just started using Spotify like 30 minutes ago, even though I had an account for over a year. Why have I never done this? It's great. Oh my god. Okay, so I love Spotify. I love Spotify. I used to be the kind of person, I used to purchase all of my music, and I still enjoy, you know, support. I prefer supporting musicians directly. For instance, donating to Lofelia's coffee account. But I used to use Pandora back in the day, right? And like I liked Pandora because it allowed me to find music without having to listen to the radio. And I was like, well, why would I use Spotify when I know I have Pandora? And then I tried Spotify, and holy crap. Like, the best feature about Spotify, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? The best feature of Spotify is looking up other people's playlists. Like, if I'm like, I'm writing an anime villain right now, I can just type anime villain playlist, and I can see other people's playlists for their anime villains. And it saves me so much work. Do you have any idea how much work I've saved by not having to Google songs manually? You know? Like I'm working on our RPG, Life Sim RPG for Iron Storm, right? I didn't make a playlist, I just looked up a Harvest Moon playlist, and I'm listening to that while working on it on the background. It's great. Spotify is incredible. Yeah. Alexo says, "Ooh, I should try that for my characters." Oh, for sure. I love that. Honestly, like you can just look up moods. You know, like if you have like a sad anime boy, just look up a sad anime boy playlist, and you're good to go. By the way, anybody who remembers LimeWire, raise your hand. By the way. Oh my god. Oh my. I think about LimeWire every once in a while. I actually drew an image. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I drew an image of Hoshi, the character from The Fabulous Gays, the protagonist of The Fabulous Gays. I drew an image of Hoshi and Mako. It was a meme image, but on that meme image, Hoshi is wearing a LimeWire shirt. It's not on here, isn't it? It's not on here. Gosh darn it. Okay. Anyways. Yo, Laszlo's, let's go. Oh my god. Does anybody else remember? Like, you go to download a song, and instead it was like this old super crunchy audio file of Bill Clinton, someone pretending to be Bill Clinton, talking about how like I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. Like I remember being like I just want the main theme of Final Fantasy VI, and then I go to play and it's like I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. You wouldn't download a car, would you? Oh man, I would download a car so fast. I would download a pizza so fast. By the way, hey Danny, so nice to see you. I would download a car. I would download so many cars. You have no idea. Now let me see if I can find that in. There's no way. I'm not gonna find it this way. Let me see if I can go to my Tumblr. MKirin.tumblr.com. Now I'm gonna go on and go under my art, and I might be able to find that LimeWire shirt. You know, sometimes I just do things for myself, such as just putting a reference that's just for me. You know, it's for me and only for me. By the way, anyone who's joining in at this moment, I would like you to tell me what you're drinking right now. What are you sipping on right now? We're starting the stream. We'll be doing some book reviews today, but of course, as we're starting, kind of nice and mellow. Tell me, what you're sipping on. Some milk? Is it Chucky milk or just regular milk? You wouldn't download X. PSA's made pirating look super cool though. Yo, good Oreos? Yo. Lastly, just finished some coffee? Hell yeah. Oh, that sounds so tasty. Where is my art? Oh, there's my art, my art tag. Okay, now I'm gonna have to go like a long way down. A long way down. It was like 3 months ago. Oh my god, I forgot that I drew this. I drew a little image for Kitty and I's trip to Disneyland this year. And I drew Mickey Mouse holding a bloody knife, because it's kind of what happened, honestly, to be entirely fair. I'll show you that image in a second. Come on, I need an image of Hoshi and Mako. I feel like I'm so close. I just passed Trans Bridget, which I'm also going to show you because, of course I will. I'm legally bound to show you Trans Bridget. Did I not post it on Tumblr? Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Is it older than I think it is? Chat is going, but I'm just like on my side over here. I'm like, where? There it is. I found it. Okay. Oh, hey Graham. Oh Max, do you remember the game I talked about in my above message? Oh, let's see. I remember one game you played. I don't remember what it was called, but you had to stop it because your laptop died. Rip the Let's Play. Oh my god. I forget which Let's Play it was. It might have been The Sims 4 maybe. I forget. Yeah, my laptop died totally. Let me just go to. So this is the meme image that I was talking about. It's Hoshi and Mako from The Fabulous Gays. Hoshi saying, "I have connected the dots." Mako replying with, "You didn't connect shit." and Hoshi countering with, I have connected them. And yes, Hoshi is in fact wearing a LimeWire crop top. I envision... Oh, Danny, of course it's Brisket. Of course it's Brisket. We love Brisket here. Yeah, this one came out really funny. Here's Brisket. Everybody look, it's Brisket. Oh, I drew this as soon as the announcement came out. And we all knew that Bridget was trans. Let's go. Oh, it's so cute. Yes. I'm so happy with how this one came out. I want to make it a sticker. I want to make this a sticker for sure. Also, by the way, this is the other image that I was talking about. So Kitty and I, we went to Plaguesworth, friend of the channel, invited us to Universal Studios on Halloween, followed by Disneyland the day after, and we had a lovely experience. By the way, yes, Kitty actually uses a wheelchair sometimes, and we had a really fun time. This is pretty much what happened on our trip, by the way. Oh my god, yes. It's true. Yeah, I definitely want to make stickers of Brisket and Testament, for sure. Yes. Also, by the way, I don't assume I have no idea. I love Charles saying like Charles says, oh my god, if you made a Brisket and/or Testament sticker, I would buy them so fast. I don't even go to Guilty Gear. I just love them. They're so good. Oh yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Goofy in Court sketch for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna make a series of stickers based on queer fighting game characters, and the series is gonna be called Them's Fighting Gays. That's the plan. Also, I was gonna say that I can't make no promises. There is a possibility that if I can somehow review 40+ books in less than 3 hours, we might do a little bit of work on the RPG, because I need to figure out the random tables for fantasy races and animal species. So we might work on that at the end, but we'll see. Oh, yes. Nothing like some nice coffee. But yeah, did I miss any messages? I don't think I did. Except for missing that one Alexel comment, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of Max Deep lore for sure. I'm trying to think like what other like I mean, like definitely like CTD. Like if you want to make like an MKirin iceberg, you literally have to like you would have to reference quite a few Zero Escape things, like the elevator scene. I believe like there's of course Ace, Kitty's relationship with Ace, for sure that would have to be referenced. Oh, Raven's here, hell yeah. Hello to both of you. I literally read Vtuber Tier List as you were actually gonna rank VTubers. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no. I completely understand the misunderstanding. It was not intentional. No. Kitty actually loved Ace. Kitty was in denial of the reality of Ace's character right up until the very last second. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be ranking VTubers. That would be actually in really bad taste. So I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? What's really funny, 999 came out like 30 years ago, so I can talk about this. So Kitty and I, we played a board game called Pandemic Legacy. Pandemic Legacy. If you don't know what a legacy board game is, your life is about to change today. So a legacy board game is a board game where you actually follow a campaign, and after a set number of games, the board game ends. It's a really interesting, relatively new experience where you change the elements of the board game. You tear up pieces, you tear up cards, you put stickers on the actual game board, and the game changes over the course of a campaign. So we played Pandemic Legacy, and you have characters. You actually play as a character, and your character can actually die. And I had a character who was able to look at the deck, aka look at the future, and I decided to make them Akane from 999 for very obvious reasons. Oh, it was Theresia! Oh my god, I have not thought about Theresia for so long. Yeah, oh my god, Theresia. Oh my god, that game is so weird. It's one of the very few Nintendo DS games that are rated M for mature, by the way. So anyways, so we were playing Pandemic Legacy, right? And Kitty was playing, Kitty decided to make her character Ace from 999. This is gonna be very funny in a minute. So halfway through the campaign, spoilers for Pandemic Legacy, by the way, certain types of characters, like, at some point you complete like one of the games, right? And then the game tells you like open this envelope and read it. And then the envelope was like, if any of the characters have this symbol on them, that character has betrayed you, and you have to execute them. So destroy that card, destroy their little character sheet. And wouldn't you know it, Kitty's character Ace was a traitor, which is just so on the money for 999. Like we were like laughing, crying as it was happening. It's like, are you seriously telling me it's happened again? Are you telling me that Ace betrayed us in a different game, in another board game? It's so good. It's so good. It was great. It was honestly kind of great because, like, you know, like, I hate to frame it like this, but like, you know, emotional damage can be quite entertaining. Go ahead, clip me on that. So it was just so good to, you know, we sat there and we decided to name our characters after 999 characters just for fun. And the narrative of the board game led to us having another, you know, moment of emotional damage. Definitely more trauma, absolutely. Let me close this too, by the way. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like getting ready to get started, by the way. So I want to say, first and foremost, before we get started, we will be using the timer, by the way, to make sure that, you know, we take breaks. Which reminds me, by the way, take a good chance, by the way, to stretch your limbs, drink something, hydrate, and while I'm stretching my legs, I'm gonna do like a double. I'm gonna do like a double for you, okay? I'm gonna double up on tasks right now. I want to let you know, by the way, that if you're enjoying the stream, please consider supporting me on coffee.com/MKirin. If you donate through that lovely website, top left, by the way, your message gets read live on stream by a beautiful machine voice. You get fuzzy feels, and I get nuggies that are going towards our current goals of unlocking art streams. And at 151 nuggies, I will draw the first 151 Pokemon from memory. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't even know what shape Metapod is. So yes, please consider supporting me on the link that's on the top left of this screen. I am in fact stretching my legs, by the way. Oh my god, my right knee is giving me trouble again, which is funny because it's not raining anymore. So I'm like, what even is your problem, knee? Okay. I think it's time to dive right in. We're going to be doing some absolute I'll get my word and start writing then. Hell yeah. Oh, by the way, I miss Danny's messages, by the way. Danny says, I really want to play Zero Escape games. Oh, yeah, and Pandemic. Pandemic is one of those board games that has, it's a good game. It actually is a really, really good board game. It has aged kind of badly because we live on the timeline where the 2020 pandemic happened. So, it hits a little different. I'm not gonna lie, you know? I don't want to say that we haven't played it yet, but we haven't played it since. Like it's a really easy game to teach people. Like I feel like people can easily understand the game mechanics. It also doesn't help that it's like it can get really raw. I mean, it depends. Danny says that makes the joke stronger. It is, you know, maybe now that it's been 2 years, maybe it's like a little bit easier to swallow that pill. But yeah, it gets a little bad. Let's go. Thank you, Alexander. What I want to say is that it gets yeah, you know, like it's a little hard for me to like, you know, like, oh yeah, like everybody, let's go and play board games today, and then I'm like, what are we gonna play? How about a simulation of a pandemic? Anybody want to have fun with that? So yeah, it's a little bit different. The game that I've been playing with my family, let me just look up Longshot. Longshot, the dice game? Longshot the dice game is a game about simulating horse races, and it's absolute nonsense. Yeah. This is a lovely little box, and it's a game where you simulate, doing. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Kitty makes a really good point where pandemic isn't about having one pandemic happening; it's about having 4 pandemics happening at the same time. But yeah, this is the game that I'm playing with my family at the moment. It's a lovely, very quick, very simple to learn game about ridiculous horse races. Let's just say that, like, you know, you can bet horses, you can buy horses, you can literally move horses back or forward. It's ridiculous. If someone is having a really good day, you can really ruin their experience, which, you know, sounds like a great family night to me. Anyways, let's start this review process, and I want to first begin with a little bit of a disclaimer. Again, I'm not going to be breaking everything into, it's not going to be everything good, bad. I have categories here, and I will be explaining them soon. On the top, we have fiction, non-fiction, manga and light novels, art books and RPGs, and then a bonus section that I will explain in a moment. So... Oh, yeah. If you want to learn more about cool board games, I recommend checking out the YouTube channel Shut Up and Sit Down. They are very lovely people, and they're like they're like 50% of the way that I find out about new board games. So you may be wondering, Max, does this tier list mean that fiction is better than non-fiction? No. These are all on different channels. You know, I will say that as per tier list rules, whatever is on the leftmost side is better than whatever is on the rightmost side. But other than that, the categories are independent. It doesn't feel fair to compare Starforged against, we keep the dead closed versus Starforged does not feel like a fair comparison. They are very, very different books. Also, hi Sofifi, welcome to the stream. It's so nice to see you again. We're about to start ranking books. The other thing is that I'm not going to be giving like full-on like book reviews, in part because there's a lot of books here, and as much as everybody wants me to just dunk on certain books and just tell you about how bad they are, I don't know, it feels like bad energy. We'll see how badly I dip in. Also, I'm going to be doing things in the order that I read them, hence why I have a little list over here. So let's just start right away. So I finished 2021 reading a bunch of John Steinbeck novels. I lived really close to where John Steinbeck actually lived and wrote a lot of his novels. So I always felt like I shared a little bit of like kindred spirit with John Steinbeck. Oh, hi Cecile. Oh yes, we're talking about books today. Please forgive me if I'm not that much well read. My reading list is a mess. But we're gonna have to get through it. We're in here now. This is happening live. So I finished 2021 reading a bunch of John Steinbeck because I finally wanted to really read his stuff. Of course, I read some of it in high school. You know, I read Of Mice and Men in high school, but I wanted to read more of his work. And the first book I picked up by him is actually the one that turned out to be my favorite. The Winter of Our Discontent is the last book that I read in 2021, and I actually liked it way more than the rest of his other work. I believe The Long Valley is The Long Valley is a collection of short stories and fiction. It contains The Red Pony, which is a collection of 4 small short stories. The Long Valley is alright. I'm not a big fan of short story collections. I prefer a longer narrative. That's kind of the way that I like to do things. And there's a little bit of a theme with, after that was... Oh, we'll get there. After that was Canary Row. So, the one thing that I noticed is that writers have types, right? John Steinbeck, his type of character are people living on the very edge of society, getting by day by day, looking for the scummiest way to make a living, and that's fine. Everybody has their type, right? You know, some people have sad anime boys. John Steinbeck had, scumbags. And that's okay. That's completely okay. It's just that reading several books about John Steinbeck writing people living on the edge of society, getting by day, finding scummy ways to make a living, it gets a little bit tiring. It's actually the reason why I really, really liked The Winter of Our Discontent, because it's literally like the first protagonist he's had who actually has a job. I actually really recommend The Winter of Our Discontent. So what is my writing type? I would say it's probably really sad protagonists. If Pages is anything to go by, I think it's sad protagonists. Sad narrators, I think, is my type. So after that, I read my first manga of the year, which is actually a really good one. It is Love Me for Who I Am. Love Me for Who I Am is a manga about a non-binary person working at a maid cafe. And it's actually... if you're gonna pick up this book, which I recommend that you actually read it, read the whole book in one sitting. Do not stop halfway through. There's definitely a process of characters learning and messing up, but eventually the book ends in a really good place. Also, as Kitty says, Love Me For Who I Am is only 5 volumes, so that makes it like really nice and bingeable. I definitely have to say that, like, you know, if you only start reading the first chapters and you're like, oh, a character said something that is really problematic, yes, because they're learning. Like, literally, like everyone at this maid cafe is very much queer, and even our protagonist, you know, they're struggling with their own identity. So overall, I think it's a really nice and wholesome story, but it definitely, you know, yeah, like, you know, it goes places, you know, but I honestly really liked it. It's very, like, soft. It's very lovely. I almost feel like it's slice of life. I guess it is slice of life. Honestly, one of my favorite moments is that our main protagonist deciding to be non-binary and be openly non-binary leads one of our characters, a member of the old guard, you could even say, who previously presented female, but kind of like gave up on it after a long time, and kind of like the erosion of everyone around them not approving of it. This character decides to go back to presenting female, and I found it to be a really, really touching moment in the story. This older generation kind of, you know, having their spirits lifted by the newer generation deciding to be openly queer. Also, the book has a trans girl, it has a boy who's gay, and it has also a boy who just likes to wear whatever they can. They just wear whatever clothes they want. It's very lovely. So after reading that, oh, okay, Fragments of Horror, let's go. Fragments of Horror. We started reading a bunch of Junji Ito. Where is Fragments of Horror? Oh my god. Is it even here? This is smashed. Oh, there's Fragments of Horror. Okay. So Fragments of Horror is a collection of Junji Ito, horror stories. What I actually particularly enjoyed about Fragments of Horror is that it is weird. There is stories here that are actually not scary, but they're just, like, strange. This is the book that has the story about the lady who makes love to a house, and everything goes bad after that. This also has the story where a bunch of ghosts have, like, let's just say intercourse, and everything explodes. There's also, I believe, this is a story that also with this. Yeah, this is a story with the sweater. The story with the sweater is so messed up. Oh, the story for the maid cafe is called "Love Me For Who I Am." Fully recommend. The lady makes love to a house. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's actually one of my #1 Tumblr posts of all time. Let me see if I can find it real quick. People on Tumblr love that post. It has like thousands of notes. Let me see. Can I somehow get there? Activity. What are my biggest posts of all time? Can you get me there? No, right now people are loving that Slowpoke post. I can't find it, but yeah, don't worry about it. a lady does she has a good time with the house, and things go crazy from there on. So Fragments of Horror, really good. Now, it's not fair to compare Junji Ito's incredible art style and powerful ability to dominate the tone of a story with uneasiness and a particular flavor of horror. It's hard to compare this with Love Me For Who I Am, which is just so lovingly queer. But if I had to say which one is better, I do love me stories with non-binary characters that are represented well. After Fragments of Horror, I read Tortilla Flat. Okay, yeah, more stories. Where's Tortilla Flat? Tortilla Flat. Oh my god, where is it? Oh my god. Welcome to oh, there you go. Tortilla Flat. Welcome to more Steinbeck stories about just people living on the edge of society, making money day by day. Although the Tortilla Flat is actually not as bad. Out of all of this, I guess Tortilla Flat is better. I would put Cannery Row at the end. I actually didn't enjoy Cannery Row as much. Then he says, not the first time I've heard things about Junji Ito. Yeah. He's really good at his craft. And I'm actually, we're reading every Junji Ito book, and it's really fun going back to his earlier works and seeing how far his art has come. It's so incredible. If anything, it should be the most uplifting to see someone who becomes we call him a master at his craft, but I don't think he would call himself that. And it's just good to see a person's progress over the years. So Tortilla Flats, John Steinbeck, you know what to expect. Smashed! Ah, Smashed. Okay, so Smashed, I know which one. Yeah, there you go. Smashed is another Junji Ito book. I believe Smash is the one that has the recurring stories of that really weird kid. The final story in Smashed is just so good and weird that I would put it in front of Fragments of Horror. Again, Junji Ito, for sure. No One Goes Alone. Oh my god. No One Goes Alone. Where is that? Okay, so let's talk about Erik Larson. So Erik Larson is a nonfiction author. He has written several books about many historical things. He wrote The Devil in the White City, and he also wrote, oh my god, what is the Erik Larson World War II book? He wrote a book on the Blitz. The Splendid and the Vile. Yes, he wrote The Splendid and the Vile and The Devil in the White City. He has a very incredible journalistic eye for making historical stories about people, which I really appreciate. I really enjoyed The Splendid and the Vile. Someone who didn't grow up, in the UK or in England, I really had no history. I didn't know anything about the Blitz. So seeing that story unfold was actually really interesting. Also, The Devil in the White City is about the World Fair and the guy that was killing people in the background. Honestly, I wish there had been more Devil in The Devil and the White City. There wasn't enough true crime for me. But nonetheless, I'm not reviewing those books today. I am reviewing No One Goes Alone, which is Erik Larson's first foray into fiction. And you can tell this is actually his first time doing fiction because he felt like he had to explain himself at the end of the book. The afterword is him explaining how he came up with the idea for the book, which I'm like, honey, you don't have to explain that. Honey, you don't have to tell us where you got the idea. Story ideas come from many places. You don't have to show your work. It's okay. This is not a class. You're not being graded. That being said, he did a fantastic job in this story. About maybe to the detriment of the story, he did a really good job at making me believe there was no mystery and that there was no supernatural things happening. The characters go on really, really long experiments and explanations trying to see if the haunted mansion they're staying at there's characters doing experiments to prove that the haunted mansion they're staying at is not haunted. And he does this so well that when Cthulhian Lovecraftian entities show up, I was like, what's happening? Wait, no, but you told us that none of this was actually, but what? I don't want to say that it feels like someone's first book, but it kind of feels like someone's first book. I wish I wish there had been more room for me to disbelieve the character's experiments, because he really sold me on there not being anything supernatural happening, and that the story was about, these people debunking supernatural things. But then, supernatural spirits show up, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that's how the book ends. Honey, breathe, you're a writer. You're right, that's enough. Yes, oh my god, Cecile is so on the money. And then, yeah, I love Kitty. I woke up at 3 a.m. with this bonkers idea. Yeah, that's how it happens for me. But Erik felt like he had to explain himself. It is, no offense to John Steinbeck. The Winter of Our Discontent is definitely his best work. You know what? That's a lie. It's the work that I enjoyed the most. And I feel like I enjoyed No One Goes Alone more than the other John Steinbeck works. Now, the next item on the list is How Not to Die. Okay. So welcome back to nonfiction. My doctor recommended I read this book. Now, you may be thinking, Max, that is like the worst book recommendation. My doctor told me to read a book. This doctor was actually the sweetest doctor I've ever had. She asked me for my pronouns the first time we met. Very progressive, very lovely person. So when she told me, please read this book, I was like, you know what? I'll read it. And it's actually a really, really fun book. So, let me tell you about what I want in a nonfiction book, okay? I want it to be interesting. I want to learn things I didn't know before. And this book does such a really good job. So this book is a very eloquent discussion about NonStop experiments and research on nutrition and how that connects to health. And if that sounds boring, I'm sorry. But the author was so eloquent in breaking down every single experiment and research project that has been done on nutrition. It was just so interesting. It came to the point where it became like a meme as I was listening to it. He was like, so there's this research that was debunking this thing, but the research was not a double-blind randomized test, and I was like, oh my god, they did a non-randomized double-blind test? How are you supposed to trust your results if it's not non-random, if it's not randomized and double-blind? Oh my god! It was funny. By the way, a randomized double-blind test is an experiment in which the test subjects, it is randomized who gets the placebo and who doesn't, and neither the doctors nor the patients know who has the placebo and who doesn't. That is the objectively best way to do an experiment. It reduces a lot of inherent bias. The book is incredibly insightful, and I really enjoyed it, if anything because it's just non-stop talking about experiments. How Not to Die? Very fun. So it's so fun that I actually bought it and I gifted it to several people in my family because I thought that they would really enjoy the book. After that, yes. So I like to go through my local bookshop, and I look at the books on the shelves, and whatever is facing the aisle, I assume, the ones that are actually their covers are showing and have book recommendations. I like to just grab those and be like, all right, well, what's this about? So the Hunjin Murders is one of the founding Japanese true crime book series, and this is the first part, or the first case, as you may say. And the interesting thing is that, yes, it's a very Japanese book, which I really appreciate. I love Japanese fiction, but I will say the problem with going back and reading the first of anything is that, well, since it's the first of everything, it ends up being kind of basic. Yeah, as Kitty says, don't always go back to the first thing. You may end up with bad stuffs. Yeah, so I read it. It's a really basic whodunit murder story. And it's actually, I don't want to say that it insults the reader's intelligence because it's an old book. It's an old-timey book, but like there's no way you're gonna figure out who did it. And like the last third of the book is just explaining everything you could not have possibly understood by yourself, which is not a really fun way to enjoy a book. I don't really like that, but it's it was the first of its kind in Japan, so I understand that. Do I recommend it? Well, more than I do Tortilla Flats, I guess. Now what's next? Yes, okay, so now, under the category of art books and RPGs, which, it's hard to compare those to other things, I actually got myself the hands on the art book for the Keyforge card game. It's a lovely card game. I love Keyforge, and the art for it is fantastic. That's all I have to say. It's an art book. I mean, it's not changing the world, but as an artist who I enjoy looking at other people's art and seeing how they make, how they create something out of seemingly nothing, and they give form to shapes and lines in a way that evokes emotions. It was nice. I like that art book. We Keep the Dead Close. Okay, completely different tonal change. So We Keep the Dead Close is a book, a very thick book, about the disappearance of a young woman that happened at Harvard University. And this is a big book. It's a true crime book. It's big. It goes so many places, and the writing is fantastic. This is one of those books where, let me just tell you that, I was spending more time washing dishes because I just wanted to see what happened next. I listen to audiobooks while I'm doing the dishes, right? And I'm like, well, the dishes are done. I guess I could clean the stove while I'm at it, just to keep finding out what happened next. Very, very lovely. Absolutely recommend. Effed up things happen in this book, so that might not, it's true crime. I can't recommend true crime if you're not, if you're not okay with a little bit of bad stuff in your books, but absolutely recommend. I love How Not to Die, but We Keep the Dead Close is very, very good. After that, I read Bad Monkey. So my father-in-law actually recommended Bad Monkey. It is in fact fiction. It is adult fiction, which means that there is sex and swearing and a lot of other stuff in there. It is actually really funny though. It's a ridiculous story. It might as well, I imagined it like an animated adult TV show, like an animated cartoon for adults. It is absolutely ridiculous. If you feel like adult fiction, I recommend Bad Monkey. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, the most ridiculous things happen in that book. Great. It's time to talk about the final girl support group. All right, let's talk about the final girl support group. You don't remember me reading Bad Monkey? Yeah. Your dad recommended it to me. It's actually funny. It's actually pretty funny. You know, it's adult fiction, so you know it has more sex than I would appreciate in a book. But you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is, in fact, a monkey in that book. Can you tell that I'm stalling because I don't want to talk about the final girl support group? Also, Max, please say psych. Why is that book at the bottom of the list? Well. So, by the way, so Cecile says, I hate sex scenes in books. So here's the thing, okay? So I'm not Ace or Arrow. I don't have, I don't have anything against sex scenes in general. It's just that honestly in books, I kind of don't care for them, you know? I've never been the kind of person who likes to read smut or anything like that. So like when they happen in books, I'm just kind of like, oh wow, we really do be doing this, huh? All right, so let's talk about Grady Hendrix. So Grady Hendrix is let me zoom in real quick. The following is a joke, and if you quote me out of context, you're a bad person and you deserve to stub your toe on the sharp end of a coffee table. Grady Hendrix is a hack. That's not true. That's a joke. It was funny because me and Kendra were both reading this book at the same time without knowing it, and when we realized, we kind of had like not like a therapy session, but like we sat down and like talked about this book. Yeah, Kendra isn't here to defend Grady Hendrix, which I don't understand why, because Kendra keeps reading books by Grady Hendrix that aren't good, and Kendra keeps going, yeah, the book isn't good, and I'm like, why are you defending him? You know, why is Kendra invested in big Grady Hendrix? This is a book. It's a book about slasher flicks, and it creates a mythology around the final girl, which is the girl that survives a slasher flick. This is honestly, all right. Here we go. I'm taking off my gloves. Okay, this is the book idea that you write when you're a cishet white man who has never had anyone question your story ideas, or you have like no self-awareness, because there's plot holes left and right in this book. This is such a like, yes, I'm gonna write the book that I want, and I'm not even gonna listen to anybody pointing out plot holes or anything. It's totally inconsistent. Really effed up things happen in this book for absolutely no reason. And I'm not even talking about like murder and the other stuffs. I'm literally like, you know, let's just abandon this person who's about to die. Let's just abandon them in the middle of the road for no reason. So yeah, it's literally so far it's the worst book I read in 2022. I don't recommend it. It wasn't fun, and it's also bad. Back over to nonfiction. Quiet, a book about introverts. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember much about this book. I actually really don't remember much. I remember it because I was like, oh, I want to learn more about introverts because I am one. And honestly, so you know what? This is a great time. Yeah, yes, they abandoned a girl in a wheelchair to die, and then they abandoned a terminally ill person in the middle of a park for no reason. And also, you know what? You want to know what the worst capital sin is in my brain? I mean, that's not true. The following is an exaggeration, but whatever, it's fine. Dropping magic at the very last minute of your book is it's an absolute sin to me. If you do that, you're a hack and you're a bad writer. Literally, you have a whole book to establish that there's magic in this world, and then you just drop it at the very last minute. Suddenly, a character has magic powers. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Are you jostling my jorts? Are you jostling my jorts right now? That on top of this is like a this is a shit Sunday, and it's bad. Anyways, hi Grady Hendrix. You seem like the kind of guy who would like watch videos about yourself. Hey there. How you doing? My jimmies are quite rustled. What's next? Oh yeah, Quiet. Yeah, I don't have much to say about Quiet, honestly. So when I read nonfiction books that are like on the self-help category, right? Here's the way that I like to look at things. Okay, imagine a percentage bar. Okay, now the percentage bar is broken into two categories: anecdotes and actual advice. Some books are mostly anecdotes and offer very, very little advice. And then there is books that change the genre, and I think it's because they focus more on actually telling you what to do and offering you tools to overcome trauma or whatever it is you're dealing with, instead of just anecdotes nonstop. And the best example of this is actually Atomic Habits. Is actually, this book is like 5% anecdotes, 95% things that you can do to improve your life, which I really appreciate. I absolutely recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's one of those times where I'm like, oh yeah, of course it has sold 1 million copies. It's a great book. People are going to talk about this the same way that they used to talk about the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Except that that book is kind of junk now, but nonetheless. So, now, on that scale... Oh, it's time for a break, by the way. Everybody do me a favor and hydrate. Stretch your legs, by the way. We've been talking for 25 minutes nonstop. I have to tend my crops, by the way. Don't mind me. So, where does quiet land into that, by the way? And I think quiet might as well be like 95% anecdotes and 5% things you can actually do about your life. Which is not very fun for me. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer books that, give you tools so you can better your life, rather than just anecdotes. It's like, well, this person over here did a thing and that helped them, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but how can I actually like use that though? Don't come at me and be like, oh, well, this millionaire does this thing every morning, and I'm like, I don't care. I feel like it's kind of like, it's dishonest to be like, well, this person is successful and they do this thing, maybe you do the same thing, you'll be successful like them. That's not how reality works, by the way. That is not how reality works. Oh, by the way, much like Alexul is doing, by the way, you are welcome to put your mouse pointer right over Yento's head and give him head pats, by the way. You're encouraged to do that, by the way. I am also terrified that someone is going to be picking up this video halfway through without me explaining the beginning. And it's going to be like, wow, Bad Monkey is the best book you read in 2022, which is not true. We're getting to the really good ones in a moment, but what can I say? Oh my god, thank you. I didn't want to say his name, but yeah. Kitty says, Max, I don't care what Elon Musk gets up to in the morning. Yeah. See, Chip's coming in with the goated reply. A millionaire can also do a lot of things every morning. It's so true. It's absolutely so true. Like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk has someone put his pants on for him. So like, I don't trust the advice of millionaires. I have not read any Ayn Rand. No, I have not. Hello, Tobias. No, I have not read Ayn Rand. Where was I? I stretched my legs. The timer is going up in 2 minutes. Honestly, I have so many reviews to get through. So quiet. It's all right. It's all right. Maybe honestly, maybe it wasn't for me. So after having read How Not to Die, I found that the author had another book that was a follow-up on How Not to Diet that was even more filled with experiments, this time entirely about diet-based myths. And again, if you're someone who just likes to read or learn about interesting experiments, I recommend both of these books. Like, the amount of data is just like jarring. Like, oh my god, like I just love like walking experiment by experiment and seeing like the things they learn. It's just so cool. It's just so cool, honestly. Honestly, same energy, by the way. Very fun book. The author, by the way, the audiobook is really, really fun. Crab. Yeah, what does Elon Musk do in the morning? Oh yeah, he brushes his teeth, flosses, goes on a run, and then kills Twitter. The usual. Yes! Cecile says, definition of a good night. Listening about books, completing my Pokedex, and sometimes petting a virtual cat. Yes! Yes! Oh, The Beekeepers Apprentice. Okay, so this is... I've been wanting to read this series for a while. The Beekeepers Apprentice is a series of books about... basically, like after Sherlock Holmes retired, he trained this young woman to become a detective. And the one thing that I found really interesting is that... sorry for bumping the mic, by the way. Is that she did a lot of research. And, like... in a way, I was like, girl, you didn't have to do that, Like, I feel like this just shows how inequality shows up in writers, where, like, this female writer felt like she had to read every single piece of Sherlock Holmes fiction before she could legitimately write her own piece of Sherlock Holmes fiction. And then meanwhile, you have, Stephen Moffat just be like, well, what if I just completely ruined the Sherlock Holmes mythos over the course of like 6 episodes? So, that's unfortunate. But I do think that all of her research definitely led to a book that really felt like it knew what it was talking about. The Beekeeper's Apprentice, it does have that unfortunate fanfiction-y kind of like tone to it. It really feels like my OC is hanging out in this world, and my OC is very, very cool. The book is also a little bit kind of progressive, considering that this is a generally older book. And, having read some Sherlock Holmes in my life, this felt right. It felt like the right tone. Overall, relatively fun book. Better than Blood Monkey for sure. Yeah. Alexa was saying soon Sherlock will become a public domain character and you can make it gay. It's true. We will make him so gay. He will be so gay that people don't even know. By the way, this book came out before that, by the way, so she actually had to like run it by the Sherlock estate, which, again, it feels so like shitty to me that like she had to like justify why she would be able to write a book about Sherlock Holmes, and then male authors just show up and they're like, I want to do Sherlock Holmes except he fucks. Feel free to clip that as well. Is that a moment? Is that a moment? That might be a moment. What did I read after that? After that, I read In Praise of Walking. Oh my god, it's so true. Alex says Arthur Conan Doyle would hate that Sherlock Holmes is still popular. Yes, he would hate it. He would hate it. In Praise of Walking is a nice nonfiction book about the importance of spending time in nature and going on walks. It's very lovely. It is mostly anecdotes, but I can't imagine what kind of good tips you can offer to just go out for a walk in nature. But a relatively good book. Number 18. I read An Interim Storm, which is the book by my lovely friend Charles and Maud in the chat. The Wrench Charles wrote a book, and they asked me to give them feedback, and I read the whole book. It was a big book, and I gave them feedback on the whole thing. And even though there were things in the book that were not the best they could be, overall I was happy that I read it, and I was happy that I got to experience my friend's writing. Yeah. And I'm very excited to see where the book goes. I'm excited to actually sit down with Charles one of these weekends and iron out the plot of the remake. Hey now, it's all part of the learning experience, honestly. And also, okay, you know what? I'm going into the close-up for this, okay? Listen, yes, it's true that, you believe that your book was a mess, and you feel like that you're gonna have to read that everything. But here's the thing, okay? I still think, unequivocally, that the achievement of writing a 500-plus page fantasy novel is incredible. That is an achievement, and no one can take that away from you. Also, as someone who has been doing writing FS for a long time, I'll tell you right now, most people don't get to the finishing part, And I'm not saying that in like, in a discouraging way, but the amount of people I know who have made it to the end of a 500-page novel, no less, it's outstanding. Charles, like, you're up there, in the upper echelon of the people that I've helped write. It is super impressive. Yeah, it's true. So no one can take that away from you. And now I have made Charles cry. But that's okay. Yeah. Also, I love Kitty. Shut up. We loved it and you. Yeah, it's true. We love the book, honestly. Closest friend give the best criticism, I feel. It's true. I think it's because friends know how to walk the line between wanting the book to be better and also wanting to continue to encourage the person to keep working at it. So yes, An Interim Storm, very good. And I'm excited for the remake. Okay, so it's time for me to lose my entire any notion that I'm cool or interesting is flying out the window in 3 seconds. So I read Trapped in a Dating Sim, The World of Otome Games is Tough for Mobs. Sometimes you just feel like reading some trashy light novels. And this is a very trashy light novel. It's a trashy light novel about a young man who gets isekai'd into the world of Otome Games. And there's a couple things that I appreciated. It's trashy as hell. Like, let me just say that right now. It's trashy as hell. It's a very trashy book. There's some things that he does relatively well. I like the idea that this boy realizes he's trapped in the world of otome games and wants nothing to do with it. He spends most of the book trying not to get pulled into the plot, but then gets pulled into the plot. And I love that the first thing he does is he goes to the area where all the DLC weapons are stored and just gets them from the beginning. That was fun. That was fun. Like Danny says, listen, sometimes I need some good trash. It's good, you know. It's definitely trash. It's definitely trashy. But, you know, sometimes you need that. Oh, wait, there's an anime to that? There's an anime to this? Really? I didn't know there was an anime of it. Holy crap. Yo, holy crap. We might have to watch it. I bet it's terrible. After that, okay, there you go. Okay, so welcome back to the yearly tradition of Max reading books on meditation, because I actually meditate. Not in like a hipstery way. It helps with my mental health, so I like to practice meditation, and I like to remind myself by reading books on meditation. Charles actually asks a good point. Charles says, also don't fight me, what's a light novel? I hear people use the term all the time. I'm a fake anime fan. So light novel is a, we could think of these as young adult novels in Japan. They are primarily short novels written for a young Japanese audience. And the light part of it comes in part because of their format. They're generally short novels, and also because they're not supposed to be, they're not very serious books. That's the way that I like to think of it, like that. Let me actually look up the official description, by the way. It's a style of young novel primarily targeting high school and middle-aged students. That's what Wikipedia says. Danny says, I keep getting a good routine going when practicing meditation, and then I stop. I don't know why. Yeah. Also, wait, a Nightbot, calm down, Nightbot. Honestly, like, I don't think you have to meditate every single day. I definitely don't do that. I like meditation as a tool that you can use whenever you're having a bad time, because I feel like it's good to also just remember that you're not always gonna be having bad days, you know? Even if things feel really dire, you know? Having meditation as something you can lean on when you need it is also very important. Speaking of meditation, I read a book titled 10% Happier. It's a book on meditation, and it's mostly anecdotes, but the narrator was very fun. Dan Harris, who I believe is a newscaster, he talks about his experience with drug abuse and how he overcame a lot of that through meditation, but in a way that isn't cringy, by the way. Like he spends most of the book being like I don't want to do meditation because meditation is this weird like mystic thing, and then he's like, turns out I was really wrong. And I believe after that is, there you go. So after this book, which is mostly a memoir, he did a book titled Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics. Honestly, these books are two parts of the same, of a larger tome, honestly. I recommend reading them both back to back. Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics is about 50%, no, yeah. Then he says there's real science behind meditation. There is. That's why I love meditation. There's actual real stuff in there. Some of the stuff gets actually covered in this book right here. Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics actually has exercises you can do, that's why I like them as kind of companion pieces, hence why they're together on the list. Now let's talk about I'm So Effing Tired. Yeah, where is it? Alright, so, I'm So Effing Tired, is a book, allegedly, by the way, according to the small text, a proven plan to beat burnout, boost your energy, and reclaim your life by Amy Schath, MD. I read this book. I definitely did not find the proven plan to beat burnout. My energy was not boosted, and I did not reclaim my life. I'm gonna tell you, my only note that I wrote in my notebook when I was reading this book is, I am so effing tired of reading this book. No, the book is titled I'm So Effing Tired. And honestly, not good. Not good. Didn't like it. Didn't enjoy it. Maybe it wasn't for me. But I definitely, I was actually excited. I was waiting for this on Libby, which is a library app. I was waiting for it for so long, and then I get it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of slow, meandering, mostly anecdotes with very little things that you can actually do to improve your life. Libby is the goatess, by the way. Shoutouts to Libby, by the way. shoutouts to Libby. Shoutouts to your local library. Now, let's go back to manga with Yon and Moo Cat Diary. So, my brother Plague, also Doomsworth, gave this to me for my birthday. Let's go! Charlie says, also, Max, I used Goated the other day and Winnie made fun of me. Let's go! So Yon and Moo Cat Diary, it's a Junji Ito manga about his cats. And it's funny because he applies the power of making normal things scary in this book where nothing is actually scary. It's a great book. There's lots of drawings of his cats. There's also pictures of the cats. So the opening bit is that the cat over here, Yon, on his back, he has spots that look like a human skull. And then I'm like, oh, that's funny, Junji, but there's no way that's true. There's photos of that cat. It actually looks like that. It actually looks like he has a human skull on its back. It's the most Junji Ito thing of all time. So Alexo asks, with Libby, is there a limit on how long you can have a book? Yeah, there's a limit. It's usually about 21 days. But I actually like that. It encourages me to actually be serious about reading the books. So I have to say, number 2 funniest thing about this book is that Junji Ito's wife is in it, and he draws her like she's a monster. And it's funny because, not like a real monster, but like she doesn't have pupils, and she's always wearing like a Beetlejuice style like striped leggings and shirts. And in it, she's like, why did you draw me like that? And then he's like, because it looks funny. It's just so pure. I love it. Also, a trigger warning for this version of the book, by the way. One of the cats passed away, and there's a very emotional comic and very emotional like written section at the end of the book. It hits very hard, so keep that in mind. Honestly, I kind of wish I had known that because it hits really hard. You're having fun shenanigans with cats, and then you're like, by the way, one of these cats is dead. Yeah, Kitty cried. Yeah, it's very emotional. Which I mean, like, I feel like that's a good sign. If a piece of media makes you cry, I feel like it succeeded in a way. Digital minimalism. All right, welcome back. Alex asked, so Libby is a digital library app? I just thought it was like an alternative Goodreads. Gonna have to research how to use it. Oh yeah, Libby is incredible. Yeah, Libby is just a digital library app. It has audiobooks. A lot of these I actually listen to in audiobook version. You can also get like ebooks to your ebook reader or just read them on the app. The only thing you need to do, at least over here in the US, all you need is just a library card. You enter your library card information on the app, and boom, you're done. Also, Cecile says, oh, not the cat. Yeah, but you know, it happened. I mean, like, I hate to just remind everyone, but you know, everything in life is transient. I know that's a very Buddhist thing of me to say, but you know, it happens. So digital minimalism. So welcome back to another plot of like Max looks up ways to improve their life, and digital minimalism is okay. I feel like it is also mostly anecdotes and very little things you can actually do to improve your things, your life. As someone who, you know, I have been cutting down on how much time I spend on the internet, and you know, I don't have Twitter on my phone, a bunch of other things. I found the tips in this book to be kind of useless. So as someone who has already taken steps, I found it very useless. Maybe someone else would enjoy it. Charlie says, everything in life is transient. That would be like a really cool theme for a dark fantasy inspired Greek myths book. I wonder. If only it was written by a friend of mine. And if only there were a mod. If only you could follow Charlie Arlette on Twitter at twitter.com/Charlie Arlette. So you can find out updates on their book. If only you could follow this Twitter here for cool updates and cool art, and maybe you can find out when that book comes out. Oh, if only. So yeah, digital minimalism. Welcome back. Okay, and now it's time for on effing your brain. This time I am censoring myself. So on F your brain. Using science to get over anxiety, depression, anger, and freakouts and triggers. Let me put it like right here. If only the author of this book was in this call right now. So, unfuck your brain. I'm gonna say once again, a book with a lot of anecdotes and not a lot of actual useful advice. I don't understand how these people get books printed, by the way. Where you're like, this book is gonna teach you how to solve the problem, and then like, how do you solve the problem? Well, you know, well, this people did this, and I'm like, this is scientifically proven nothing. Alexa just followed Charlie. Let's go. We winning. I'm putting it in front of Quiet because Quiet was kind of a nothing book. Also, I will tell you, if you look up the audiobook for Unfuck Your Brain, don't. The audiobook quality is actually ass. This is the worst audiobook I listened to quality-wise this year, or last year. It honestly, it sounded like my old YouTube videos. It was bad. I was like, where was the sound engineer for this audiobook? I would like to see who was in charge of this. Anyways, not really the author's problem. Not really the author's problem. She did read her own book, so you know. Unfortunately, the audiobook quality kind of screwed it. It ruins it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's hard to take a book seriously when it sounds like, you know, it sounds like 2012 MKirin videos. I'm not gonna lie. What's next? Oh yes. ECD6. So I love reading role-playing books, and ECD6 is a great. And I liked it so much that I actually purchased it physically, and I read it in one sitting. It's a great, super simple role-playing system that only uses D6s. It's very lovely, very fun, and I just love the aesthetic of it. I don't think this is part of it, but have you watched Folding Ideas video on the Audible/Ghostwriter scams? No, I haven't. Interesting. If you're looking for a fun, really easy role-playing game, ECD6 is really good. Out of Office. All right, welcome back to a book that was not for me. Let me put it like right here. So Out of Office. Out of Office. I wanted a book on dealing with burnout. This book claims to be about burnout. It's actually about office culture, so like it's really not for me. Oh, Toby says, I wish I could play a tabletop RPG. They're so fun, but I don't have any friends. Oh, yeah, I get that for sure. Well, if only there was a game you could play by yourself. Oh, if only that's coming down the list or something. But yeah, Out of Office is not about burnout. It's about office culture. So not really for me. Not really that good. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, let's talk about Calm the F Down. So, this was the year of me reading self-improvement books that weren't that good. I'm gonna put it like right here, because at least like it's, you know, these here are not very good, but they're, you know, this is at least better. Calm the F Down is a book with some tips on how to overcome anxiety attacks and things of the like. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I love it. Okay, Alexa actually looked it up. Alexa says, so I went to look up the sample audio for On F Your Brain, and boy, was it bad. Yeah, it's bad. Breaking news, says Charles. Kendra sent me a Snapchat self-titled Dentist Survivor. Let's go. Kendra made it. You know what? I'm gonna go to Audible. On F Your Brain sample. Let's listen to it together. I feel like, you know, it feels a little bit like dunking, but I want everyone to hear this.
Being all self-congratulatory here. My clients do all of the fucking work. I'm just the coach. I hold up the huge banner that says, run this way, Forrest, at the proper end zone. I've been in the mental health field for enough...
Yeah, so imagine that for approximately 4 hours. Yeah, it's not good. Rip. It sounds like she recorded it like inside of like her bedroom. Yeah, it was recorded in a form from the 2000s. Yeah, like honestly, like so Kirin and I, we have a couple mics, and I'm actually using the lesser of the two. And like my sound doesn't sound that bad, does it? You know why? Because I use sound filters on OBS, and I actually looked up sound engineering advice. Again, I don't think it's her fault. Definitely whoever was in charge of the sound engineering completely like dropped the ball. I don't think it's her fault at all. Definitely, you know, it's one of those, you know, sometimes when you go through traditional publishing, they can screw you up. Let's talk about the Bofuri. Let's go. So speaking of light novels that are a little bit trashy, Bofuri, also known as I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Okay, you know what? I'll do it like this. So Bofuri, also known as I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my defense. So Kitty and I reviewed the first few episodes of this anime back in the day, and Bofuri is a light novel about a young woman who's playing a VR MMO with her best friend, and she's new to MMOs, and in this MMO you can upgrade your stats as you go, and she's like, well, I don't want to get hurt because this is a video game, and so she becomes the most powerful broken character of all time because no one ever thought of building a character who's all defense. I'm gonna say this here is what I would describe as cotton candy. This is cotton candy light novel. It has no nutritional value, but it's cute and adorable, and it's girl supporting girls, and it's not inherently creepy like most light novels tend to be. So Bofuri, I kind of recommend. I'm actually kind of interested in reading more volumes of Bofuri. Again, it's very trashy anime stuffs, but you know, it's kind of nice. And it wasn't offensive like, let's say, Log Horizon. So you know, it didn't insult my intelligence. So you know, it's cotton candy, but you know, sometimes you want to have some candy. I want candy. So I promised Kitty that I would read all of Sailor Moon, and as you can see from the fact that there's only one volume on this list, I only read one in all the year, but I'm working through. There's only 12 volumes. I'll get there. So the one thing I want to say is that I didn't realize how freaking queer Sailor Moon is. Like, I'm not talking like, you know, I'm not talking about Sailor Stars, okay? We all know Sailor Stars. Oh my god, Crab. Is it Chucky Milk? Crab, is it Chucky Milk? Crab says I have a great announcement. Is it the Chucky Milk? Oh my god. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm out of coffee. I gotta reach down for my water bottle now. No, Danny. It's not even the lesbians. In the first volume of Sailor Moon transforms herself into a boy, and then and literally, like, you know, is a beautiful boy, and then she's like, wow, all the girls are so pretty. Everyone is so pretty. And not just because she was dressed as a boy. Throughout the whole thing, she's like, oh my god, everyone is so beautiful. Yeah, no. Like there is a segment where Sailor Moon, like, cross-dresses, and she's like, wow, I actually kind of feel kind of comfortable in this. And I'm just like, holy crap. Sailor Moon is goated? And then everyone is gay for everyone. Everyone is like, oh my god, Sailor Mars is so pretty. Oh my god, Sailor Saturn is so pretty. Oh my god, Sailor Mercury is so pretty. It's great. Yeah. By the way, as Charlie says, I just refilled my water cup. Better hydrate or dihydrate. Yeah. Hydrate or dihydrate. Sailor Moon, turns out, kind of goated. How can you believe that Sailor Moon is a really great manga? Now, speaking of great manga, yo, Chip says this magical girl is bi and gender fluid. It's so true though, and she's a mother. Anyways, so let's talk about Spy X Family. Okay, all right. So you know what I said, that, you know, stories with representation are good, and I love them. Yeah, you know what I also like is stories that are just incredibly well written. Spy X Family is absolutely goated. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty missed the Sailor Moon discussion. I talked about how gay she is and how she's very queer, and everybody thinks everybody's hot, and that's great. Spy X Family is absolutely incredible. It's not only a beautifully written manga, it honestly, okay, maybe I'm just tooting my own horn when I say this, but this feels like a manga. I could have written this story. This is a story about miscommunication through and through. The main character is a spy attempting to stop, you know, political problems, and then, like, you know, he has to create a fake family, so he adopts a girl. The little girl is a telepath. She knows what everybody's thinking, and she has to hide it because she doesn't want to get in trouble. And then the wife that he ends up finding happens to be an assassin, and she's keeping that a secret from everybody. Everybody's lying to everybody, and it's great, and it's also very wholesome. I love Spy X Family. If anything, the only complaint that I have about Spy X Family is that I really wish it wasn't set in basically Germany. Japan has some issues with this, and I really wish it just wasn't Germany. It's not stated, but it's very much clearly Germany. And like, if it was like nondescript European like city or like country, I would be happier with it. But the fact that it's very, very clearly, you know, let's just say that a character gets introduced later who may or may not be part of a special police called the SSS, and I'm just like, that's a little bit on the nose there. That's too on the nose. We don't take those here. You know what? Actually, you know what? I had to offer no preamble for Love Me for Who I Am. So I think Spike's Family is number 2 so far. Spike's Family, it's really good. Again, I'm only nitpicking here. But I have to say that's the one thing that, you know, keeps me from really enjoying the story. Nonetheless, though, absolutely goat it. I absolutely recommend Spike's Family. You know what? I've come back around. I've come back around. Read Spike's Family. Only I care about like little setting things like that. Also, it's getting hot in here. So let me take off my oversized hoodie because I'm a child. Also, by the way, we are supposed to... Oh, yeah. Spike's Family has actually made me laugh. Something that manga has not managed for a very long time. So, by the way, everyone is required to hydrate. Hydrate, get up, stretch your legs, stretch your limbs. I'm going to be doing that myself right now. Because I need to stretch my knee. My knee has been giving me trouble. So, yeah. How are you all enjoying me ranting about books? How are we doing time-wise? Oh, we're doing all right. We're only like, you know, 3/4 of the way there. I think I can make it. Oh, yeah. The timer is a farm game. It's actually a Pomodoro timer disguised as a little farming game. It's adorable. Okay. Crap. Remind me what book it was and ask your question. Also, let me actually... I'm gonna lower the volume of the farming game to make it less noisy. I'm sorry about that. So Charles is saying, I feel like you rated my work in progress way too high against actual published books. So here's the deal. This is my tier list based on how much I enjoyed the books and how I would recommend them. Also, Kitty's so right. So much trash is... There's so much published books that are actually trash. Honestly, out of the books that are on this list, I can't promise you that your book will be number 1 forever, but out of all the books that are on this list, I enjoy reading your book the most. Even with all the feedback that I was writing in the margins, I still enjoyed your book more than I enjoyed all the other books. Definitely more than I enjoyed this piece of trash right here. Actual waste of time. Actually wish I could delete it from my mind and never having read it. As the Gods Fall, the book about powerful aliens going all Alexander the Great on Earth. Okay, Also, I just realized that I didn't read your previous message, by the way. Now that I not only have nuggies as well as Chucky Milk, I declare myself the king of food, of the delicious variety. Kiwi on pizza. Wow. Yo, kiwi on pizza sounds actually kind of good. Yeah, yo, Topes, I absolutely recommend writing a book. It's also very fun. Hey, if you ever need help figuring out an idea, just reach out. Now let me see. Where was I? Is the break over? The break is not over, isn't it? It's not over yet. Let me grab a little sip of water. That's exactly how it works, Tobes. Tobes says, I can be the content I wish to see in the world. That's how it works. Write the books you want to see in the world. That's why all my books have non-binary characters in them. I want more non-binary characters. Yes, let's keep talking manga. So after reading Spike's Family, I also read, speaking of queer books, I read Boys Run the Riot. Yo, Tobias. Oh, I realized that there's a Toby and a Tobias in chat. That's funny. Yo, Tobias, what kind of braid did you make? You're required by law to tell us. Same, the streams got me to try my visual novel. Hey, let's go. Oh, Charlie. Oh, I missed Charlie's messages. Just jump into it in regards to writing a book. Do it for fun and giggles. Get those writing juices flowing. Crab asks, I don't know what power I should give the MC. I'm thinking hive mind since I'm writing the aliens as making themselves seem like magic angelic saviors but are evil. Bad power, good MC. That sounds pretty good to me, honestly. That kind of makes sense. Charles says, I don't know when I'm going to start streaming. Not soon due to family stuff, but my goal with solo journaling is to encourage people to write for fun without being self-conscious. There you go. Hell yeah. I'm punching the air right now. You can't see it. Hell yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. Speaking of things that I loved, so Boys Run the Riot is a manga by a trans mask mangaka about a story about a trans mask boy dealing with his identity and also joining a group of friends starting a fashion business, a fashion company, and it's very emotional. It's pretty raw. I'm not gonna lie. If the only thing I can say, oh, I see Raquel's here. Hi, Raquel. Thank you for joining us, even if it's just for a little bit. It's so nice to see you again. I'm reviewing a bunch of books. Definitely catch the VOD. Also, I do love Charlie's Step, by the way, at Crab. Honestly, my advice is to go with whatever you think would be super fun to write. You can always make it fit. That's what I'm writing for. That's what writing's for. Yeah. Go with whatever feels the coolest. White syrup bread. Ooh, I have to look this up. I'm super hoping that's not slang for anything, by the way. Otherwise, you're about to get banned so bad. You're about to get banned so bad. Okay, it's not actually slang for anything. Perfect. Ooh. Nice. That looks tasty. So, Boys Run the Riot. Transmask author. Transmask protagonist. The kind of thing where I'm like, hey, someone's creating the art they want to see in the world, and I appreciate that. Charles says, in my opinion, I started enjoying writing a lot more when I focused on what was fun for me to write versus what would be hypothetically realistic. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, man. I remember when I got over that hump, for sure. You know? Just write whatever you think would be fun. You know? Life is too short to write anything, to spend time doing anything but the things that make you happy and fulfilled. Boys Run the Riot, by the way. It was supposed to be a dark syrup bread, but I didn't add enough malt. Whoops, I stressed time to get to class. Yeah, gotta go. Do the anime thing where you have like a slice of toast in your mouth and you're running out. But yeah, Boys Run the Riot. It's only 4 volumes, as Kitty was saying. It gets pretty raw, I'm gonna say. I will also say the art isn't always there, but it's a lovely story, especially if you like, you know, stories about queer people. After that, I read. Oh my god. By the way, I see Sodernia. Everyone else can have realistic fiction. Let me have glitter and magic. Let's go. Oh, also, Kitty's saying that Boys Run the Riot is that person's first manga. That would make sense, yeah. The art can be a little spotty at times, but you know, it's a solid first attempt. I'll say that. I see. So Crab says, the first MC I made was a hive mind. I won't stop until I make a good story with the concept, but I don't want to make the same mistakes as last time. Well, the one thing I recommend is just jumping in, honestly, because like you can spend a lot of time planning. Meredith says, have you read Genderqueer? It's on my to-read list. I have to get to it. I read it in almost 1.5 days. It was so good, I seriously identified with the main character. Let's go. That sounds lovely. I love that. Yeah, that's on my to-read pile. Every time I go to my bookstore, they have it on display, and I'm like, and you know, like we live in a pretty, you know, liberal place, and you know, there's a whole section of LGBTQ plus books, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, I should read that. It's on the list for sure. Thank you for reminding me. Oh yeah. It was the most banned book last year. That's so funny. Gosh. Where was I? I was saying something. I moved the book. Oh yeah. Okay. So the next book. Oh my god. Okay. So the next book I read that year, 2022, It was Nick Offerman's Where the Deer and the Antelope Play. So you may know Nick Offerman from his role as the grumpy man in Parks and Rec. And I thought... Meredith says, I had to put it on hold at my library and wait a couple months before I could get it. Yeah, that seems about right. Honestly, you know what? Let's do a Libby hunt right away. Let's do it right now. Let's see. How long do I have to wait on Libby? Yes, I know that I have 2 days to finish this book. I will finish reading this book. I assure you I will finish reading this book. Gender queer. How long do I have to wait for this book? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's gonna take a while. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's like 6 months. Oh, well. Yeah, I'll just buy it. I'll just buy it instead. Yeah. So, Nick Offerman. So, I only know this guy from Parks and Rec, and he has this rough exterior, and I'm not gonna lie, he looks like he might misgender me. I was wrong. I was a very, very... Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's just about 6 months waiting time, because there's so many people in line. I think it was like 50 plus people waiting in line. That's one of those times when I'm like, time to just buy the book. You know, most of the time there aren't waiting lines in Libby, you know? But sometimes for really popular books there are. Whatever the wait time is, it won't be the year plus wait on The Last Unicorn, which I gave up on. I'm just gonna buy a copy at this point. Huh. The Last Unicorn, you say? So Darnie says, every time I've gone to borrow a book, there's a line. Yeah, see, I read random things. That's why I never have to worry about the wait time. Speaking of random books, actually, this book is not random at all. So I decided to pick it up. Nick Offerman has an amazing, lovely narration. Holy crap. He is also a hardcore liberal. It makes me so happy. This book is about his experience hiking and spending time in nature, and he wastes no time also pointing out the flaws in the system, especially regarding how a bunch of national parks came to be after taking that land away from Native Americans. And that kind of just like, you know, like the desire to like talk about that in the book, like, was very uplifting to me, you know, just like really going out of his way to be like, by the way, as much as I love all of these, you know, he may or may not have mentioned the town near where we live. It's so funny. The book is it's very lovely. It's very funny. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, okay? So much like We Keep the Dead Close, a book that like I would spend more time washing the dishes so that I could keep listening to it. I completely devoured Nick Offerman's Where the Deer and the Antelope Play. I kept wanting to listen to it, you know? Like, I'm working at the desk, and I'm like, well, I'm drawing. Can I afford to listen to Nick Offerman's book while I'm drawing? Meredith, I wonder where all the national parks came from. Oh, yeah, turns out, it's stolen land. Let's spin the wheel of where the Americans find the land from. Oh, this whole circle just says it was stolen land. Oh, Charles says, I'm adding it to my list. It is absolutely narrated by him. In fact, I recommend the audiobook better than the physical book because his narration is just absolutely delightful. Oh my god. He's just very eloquent, and like I don't want to say that I could listen to his voice to fall asleep to, because that implies that he's not saying things of value or things that keep you engaged. He's doing that, but I would love for him to just like whisper sweet nothings into my ear as I surrender to sleep every night. His voice is just so delightful. Silly goal, write a book that he can narrate. Oh my god, yes. It's to the point now where like I have his other two books on to read later because I just want more of his voice. Yeah, Charles, you gotta read a gay cowboy book. Now let's see, what did I read next? By the way, this is definitely number one. By the way, this is the number one book, non-fiction book that I read last year for sure. Oh, My Mess is a Bit of a Life. Yeah. So this is a short memoir by comedian Georgia Pritchett. About her experience as as a comedian, as a female comedian in a male-dominated culture. But also, as I was reading this book, I was like, huh, Georgia, are you gay? And then Georgia's like, and then I married a woman. And I'm like, oh, yes, Georgia, you're gay. You're one of us. I knew it. I knew Georgia was one of us the whole time. Crab, you're killing me. Also, yeah, I like Toby being like, gay cowboys? Eye emojis. So my mess is a bit about life. The chapters are broken. They're very short chapters, and they're like bits, basically. Like, literally every chapter is like a joke, basically. And it's all about anxiety. So if you have anxiety, you will listen to this book and go, wow, same. Wow, you're telling me I'm not the only one who does that? Holy crap. Also, there is a chapter in this book that if you listen to it or read it, you will cry. I barely managed to make it through that section. There is a very, very emotional moment that changed the way that I perceive one particular song in pop culture. And to this day, I think about that song and my eyes get a little bit watery. It has a really, really emotional moment. That's why it's number 2. It's also really short. It's like 4 hours long. What did I read after that? Okay. So after that nice emotional moment, let's talk about some more trash. So let's talk about Crossplay Love. So Crossplay Love is a manga about a bunch of boys who are queer and very stupid. So if you can see in this illustration, can I actually open this in a new tab, please? Let's go. Okay, so Crossplay Love. It's not trash, it's just fluff. This is another instance of cotton candy, by the way. This manga is absolute cotton candy. So this boy over here works at a maid cafe where he cross-dresses as a girl. And this boy, who is so stupid, he's like, I can't, like, that girl is so pretty, but I can't go into the maid cafe by myself because people think I'm a weird. So I'm going to cross-dress so I can go there by myself because women can go to maid cafes by themselves and not be weird. And then the two met and slowly fell in love. She has a crush on her that's really bad. She has a crush on her that's really bad. But both of them are like, oh man, if only she would notice me. And they're both boys, and they're both very queer, and they're both very dumb. Everyone in this book is very, very dumb. So this is absolutely cotton candy, by the way. There is no nutritional value in this meal. Sometimes you need that. Oh yeah, and like at school, the boys don't hate one another, but like they're like, oh no, it's that mean boy, and it's like, oh no, it's that nerd. I can't wait for both of them to figure out that they're actually gay. Oh really? I had no idea. There's some crazy SCP stories out there. Crap. So I will say that this manga ended in such a way. The first volume ended in such a way that I was like, all right, I'm buying the second one. Because, you know, it's funny. You know what? I'm reopening that tab. I need to see these stupid boys again. So everyone in this book is very queer, and they don't know it. And what gets me is that you may look at these two boys right here, and you may think to yourselves, wow, these must be the stupidest boys in the whole world. And then the author manages... Somehow the author manages to introduce a new character who is even dumber than both of these guys combined. It's incredible. A character is introduced with absolutely negative brain cells, and it was such a good moment in the story that I was like, all right, you got me. Volume 2, here we go. It's literally sitting it's sitting right here. Those are the pages right there. I have the second volume right here in my hands. I'm gonna read it. It's actually coming out right now. It's stupid fun. It's cotton candy. And sometimes you want cotton candy. Cotton candy is half the reason why some people go to amusement parks. I recommend Crossplay Love. It's absolutely nonsense. What did I do after that? After that, No Time Like the Future. Yeah, I saw this at my bookshop and I thought I would read it. It is Michael J. Fox's memoir, No Time Like the Future. And I would put it somewhere like right here. It's a really good memoir. I didn't actually know much about Michael J. Fox, and of course he talks about his struggle with Parkinson's. And he also reads it, which I thought was okay. So also, did you mean to move the trashy light novel before Junji Ito? Yeah. Okay, so it's hard to compare light novel nonsense to Junji Ito, because the art in Junji Ito is really good, but I feel like you have to be in the mood for Junji Ito. And Raquel asks, is Crossplay Love finished? It's ongoing. There's 2 volumes out right now. By the way, most of these queer manga is actually published in the States, I assume internationally as well, by Seven Seas Publishing. Seven Seas Publishing, they're doing the Lord's work, bringing a lot of queer manga to the States. It's come to the point, honestly, where like if I see a manga on the shelf and it has the Seven Seas label on it, I'm like, oh, this shit's gay, isn't it? And then I look at the cover and I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's gay, let's go. Add to cart. I absolutely recommend Crossplay Love is just so... It's stupid fun, okay? And sometimes we have that. Michael J. Fox, it's a really nice and emotional book. The audiobook, he reads it himself. And even though, again, he has Parkinson's, and it's, it's a little hard for him to, record an entire audiobook in one sitting, I still found it to be incredibly uplifting. And again, I didn't know much about him. To me, he's always been Marty McFly from Back to the Future, who... Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Let me look up an image of Marty McFly. Because I feel like Marty McFly is what all of my cool characters look like in my head. Like Marty McFly is like partially the blueprint for what all my cool characters look like in my head. Can I please get a big image of Marty McFly? Thank you very much. Excuse me? Okay, you know what? I'll just do this. Okay. Like, look. Also, by the way, very much like Transmask Energy, by the way. Like, let's just look at this look, by the way. Oh yeah, Also, Michael J. Fox was also Milo in Disney's Atlantis. Yes, that's true. Don't worry about it, kid. It's fine. I feel like the denim jacket, denim jeans, like sneakers, wearing reflective shades. I feel like this is a look. This is a look. But to me, that's all he was, for most of my life, and I decided to learn more about him, and it was a lovely memoir. I liked it. After that, Spike's Family Volume 2. Oh my god, yes. Alright, so. Now, I'm not saying Spike's Family Volume 2 is better than the things before it, but if you're reading Spike's Family Volume 1, guess what? You're reading all of them, because it's a really, really fun story. The memes finally show up in this book. There's a meme face in Spike's Family, and I was like, when are we gonna get to the meme face? And we got to the meme face in volume 2, so that was lovely. It's funnier than the first volume. It's snappier than the first volume. It's really good. Again, I'm not saying it's better than the other ones, but if you're reading Spike's Family, you're already gonna grab volume 2, so they're literally stacked together. Much like these two are stacked together, really. After that, Boys Run the Riot Volume 2. Literally, same reasoning. It's more Boys Run the Riot. We introduce more characters. There's definitely more Transmask struggles in this book. Again, very emotional. Honestly, I recommend Boys Run the Riot for all the Transmasks out there, honestly. It's really good. It's really good. I feel that Transmasks will read this and go, oh my god, same. Absolutely recommend. After that, I read Broken. Oh yeah, this book. I read Jenny Lawson's Broken in the best possible way. I believe that's the full title of that book. It's not that I think Jenny Lawson's book is bad. I just don't know if the book was for me. So let me tell you a little bit about the way that I like my nonfiction, okay? No. Did I skip? I skipped the Seinfeld book. God damn it. Okay, so let me just finish talking about Jenny Lawson. Kitty, by the way, thank you so much for the catch there. So I prefer a nonfiction book and a memoir that has an arc, I don't like it when a nonfiction book is just a collection of essays, which Broken is absolutely a collection of essays. I really don't like that. It feels to me, I don't want to say it feels like cheating, but it leads to a book that feels tonally inconsistent, and her book is absolutely tonally inconsistent. You go from a nice, very emotional chapter to a chapter that is just like bananas gonzo. So a little bit hard to follow in there. I'm not saying that she isn't funny. I'm not saying she isn't funny, but when she has a whole chapter that is just like, I ask people on Twitter to tell me a funny thing, so here's a whole essay chapter about all the funny things they told me. It feels a little bit cheap, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm not saying you can't do that, but, you know, definitely not as fun as I thought it would be. I was expecting that it would be more like My Mess is a Bit of a Life, you know, stories about anxiety and depression, and those are there. Those are definitely there, but not as fun. Maybe not for me, honestly. I don't like books that are just essays, so maybe that's just me. And yes, so after Kitty and I watched all of Seinfeld in over the course of like 2 months, after that, I thought I would check out a recent book by Jerry Seinfeld called Is This a Thing? Is This Anything? This book has segments of Jerry Seinfeld talking about his creative process and how he comes up with ideas, and then his comedy across the decades. He goes through his favorite bits of every single decade, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc., etc. And I will say that seeing his input, seeing his creative process is interesting, especially for comedy. I don't consider myself a comedian, but I am someone who makes jokes on occasion. So seeing the creative process is interesting. Reading him talking about the comedian's desire to get that laugh is very interesting. 90% of the book is just comedy bits, right? Basically. And if you have seen Seinfeld, I would say probably 20% of this book is just going to be like scenes from Seinfeld. And I have to say, okay, so Jerry Seinfeld can be a really funny guy. He can be funny, except in 2 occasions. Anytime that he starts a bit with women, that joke is bad, real bad. He doesn't have a single joke about women that isn't, like, misogynistic as hell. And even the jokes that are like, oh, women, how do you put up with men? Men are like blank and blank and blank and blank. And like, even those still feel like, you know, they still don't feel good. Anytime Jerry Seinfeld is like, why women do this, and men do this, that stuff, not funny. Wasn't funny back then, is not funny now. And then, unfortunately, the last couple decades of his bits, became what I can only refer to as old man whining. Literally, I'll summarize the last chunk of the book for you, okay? The last chunk of the book is, wah, I'm old, things are different now, things are not the way like they used to be, I hate it because things are different, boomer take, wah, everyone's stuck using their cell phones. And I'm like, Jerry, the year's 2020, that joke is lame as hell, get new jokes. That being said, it was funnier than Jenny Lawson's book, so I'll put it right there. Is This Anything by Jerry Seinfeld is not the final support group of nonfiction. Absolutely not. That's definitely I'm So Effing Tired. After that, oh, we're almost done. Okay, so after that, I read Iron Sworn Starforged by the lovely, absolutely lovely Sean Tompkin. This is a role-playing game you can play by yourself, Toby! I absolutely recommend Iron Sworn. In fact, I love Iron Sworn so much that I am making an add-on for it. I'm working on the Starforged 2023 Game Jam, and I'm making an add-on for it that turns it into Harvest Moon / Stardew Valley. Currently titled Iron Valley. We need a better name, but for now it's just called Iron Valley. I'm literally doing that right now because I love that system so much. I absolutely recommend Starforged and Iron Sworn. It's incredible. So there's only 2 books left, and one of them is not even a book. So you may be wondering, Max, what is this category all the way at the bottom? Because we have fiction, non-fiction, manga and light novels, RPGs and art books, and then there's the Chilluminati. So I could have probably read approximately 17.3 repeating books more if I hadn't listened to 180 episodes of the Chilluminati podcast. So I went down the rabbit hole. A friend of mine, Plaguesworth, recommended me that I listened to a few episodes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I listened to this back in the day, as Jesse Cox, Alex Fossiani, and Matt Has Games are in it, and I went back and I listened to all the episodes. I could have read probably 18 books in the time that I spent, but also 180 plus episodes is a lot. And, you know, this podcast, by the way, it covers cryptids, conspiracy theories, aliens, true crime. It's a really fun podcast. I have not touched it since because I want to read more books, but it was really fun. And much like the reason why I like podcasts like this is because they give you a bunch of ideas for stories. I literally have watching all those episodes gave me like 10 book ideas. So there is an encouragement right there. Oh my god, yes. The Alex episodes are absolutely unhinged. I'm still waiting to find out the truth about the Green Stone. Honestly, I'm still waiting, and I'm still waiting to find out more about JFK, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, so the last book that I read in 2022 was actually a big surprise. So I was in the memoir/humor section of my library, and I saw a familiar face. Colin Joust, you may know him from SNL. You may know him because he does in fact have a very punchable face. And you may also know him because he is Scarlett Johansson's boyfriend. And if that shocks you, if you're thinking ScarJo is dating this piece of untoasted white bread, it is true. And I will be talking some more about that in a second. So A Very Punchable Face is an incredibly funny memoir by Colin Joust. He talks about, of course, his upbringing, his life, his history getting into comedy, his history in SNL, and a bunch of really, really funny anecdotes in there. I know that it's break time, but I'm talking about this funny book, so I'm gonna keep going. See, this is not a collection of essays, which I really appreciate. It has an arc. It has incredibly funny stories, and I just like how human the book is. Colin has also, I listened to the audiobook, so he read it himself, so there's so much more character to the book. He comes off as a really relatable guy. Anyone who can tell a story about pooping his own pants and making it funny, I feel like that person can make them, that's a funny person to hang out with. Also, my favorite anecdotes in this book are the anecdotes of him and Scarlett Johansson, because it made me realize that ScarJo is probably a huge loser. I gotta go get Chucky Milk, says Crab. Hell yeah, get that Chucky Milk. I actually think Scarlett Johansson is actually a huge loser, which would make sense. Which is funny, because you look at ScarJo and you're like, holy crap, How is she a loser? She's absolutely a loser. There's an anecdote in the book where Colin ends up discarding one of those like electronic bikes behind a fence that turns out to be a building while they're visiting France, and the cops show up at their hotel doors, and they don't answer the doors because they don't want to get in trouble, and they literally spend like 2 days in their hotel room. Instead of going out in France, by the way, on their vacation, they spent 2 days in their hotel room, afraid that the police are gonna like knock on their door and like, I don't know, ask them if this was their bike. That's how I know that Scarlett Johansson is actually a huge loser. And honestly, I'm here for it. Oh, hey, Peter. Hey, I'm talking about this book. Colin Joust's, Joust. A Very Punchable Face. Also, I'm not kidding. He has a story about him pooping his pants, and it's hilarious. Oh my god. I think about that story like once a day. He didn't say anything. I assume that the French cops tried and then they gave up. But because they didn't want to like test it, they spent 2 days in their hotel room. It's ridiculous. Honestly, like, it's amazing. I love it. I love this book, if anything, because it made me realize that Scarlett Johansson is like absolutely a loser. And I mean that in the most endearing way, by the way. That is loser, parentheses, affectionate. Can I type it? Can I type, Max? By the way, Looser Affectionate is the title of my upcoming memoir. Yep. Yeah, Looser Affectionate. Yeah, that's the title of my upcoming memoir. And you may be wondering, Max, is this book almost as good as Nick Offerman's Where the Deer and the Antelope Play? Absolutely. These two books, I absolutely recommend. I mean, if you like nonfiction, see, it's hard for me because Kitty doesn't like nonfiction. It's not her cup of tea. And that's okay. We're all different in this world, okay? Everybody has different things they like and different things they want to enjoy in their books. Also, I thought I read more fiction, but I guess I didn't. So, Charles, you win. Your book was the best fiction book I read last year, by the way. Also, now that I'm looking at it, even though there's definitely more nonfiction, it's still pretty balanced, actually. It's pretty balanced, actually. Yeah, Kitty says, I consume my nonfiction mostly as YouTube vids. Okay, Kendra, could you please... sorry, Charlie, Kendra called. They want their words back. By the way, that Charlie saying, "Are you sure?" in all caps. That read so much like a fucking like Kendra. That's a Kendra quote right there. All right, I'm actually gonna. Okay, it's time for a break. By the way, everybody is required. Yeah, Charlie sweeps. Everyone is required, by the way, to take a second to hydrate. By the way, give me 4 of these. And 1 of these, please. And then plant them all, please. Thank you. Lol, can you tell Kendra... can you tell me and Kendra talk all the time? Oh, yeah, it's yeah. I can tell. I mean, like, truth be told, that's just what happens when you hang out with people. For instance, I have made you say goated. So, you know... That's good times. Yo, the Chucky Milk acquired. All right, by the way, I'm supposed to be on break, so everybody stretch your legs. Peter says, I love the little Yanta box. Yeah, we unlocked Yanta.exe thanks to the stream. Which reminds me, by the way, the #1 place to support me is coffee.com/MKirin. If you donate, you get your message read out by a beautiful machine voice, and you get warm fuzzy feels, and I get nuggies. Nuggies that are going towards goals such as unlocking art streams, and if we can get to 151 nuggies, I will draw 151 Pokemon from memory. It is through the Nuggie program that we unlock the Yanto.exe, which is on your screen right now. Feel free, by the way, to give Yanto some pets using your mouse pointer. Pet. I'm giving him pets right now. Also, I'm stretching my leg because my knee has been giving me trouble lately. Because I'm old. I'm old anime. But yeah, how's everyone doing? We're almost wrapped up, which is crazy. I mean, I feel like I just have to go over my overall feelings. I hope I'm not disappointing everyone with my terrible, terrible reading pile. You know, like, I don't want to say... I'm a Slowpoke, right? You all know my favorite Pokemon is number 79, Slowpoke. And that's because I am a Slowpoke, you know? I take things very slowly. I don't really care about what the hot book is right now. I read whatever interests me at the moment. I use reading as a way to research. So for instance, if I'm going to be writing a cozy book, I read cozy books. If I'm going to be writing a dark fantasy novel, I read dark books. Sometimes not fantasy, sometimes just true crime or something like that. You know, Kitty and I have plans of writing a book about a cult, and that's why I have Helter Skelter sitting on my shelf, you know? Of course I'm going to read a book about the Manson family while I'm getting ready to write a book about a cult. Yo, Tobes caught a shiny Galarian Slowpoke, let's go. Charlie says, out of curiosity, I looked up what Pokemon 69 was, and I was not expecting Bellsprout. Oh yeah, that's a bad one. Also, I'm not gonna lie, is Slowpoke actually number 79? It is Slowpoke! Let's go! Oh my god, I'm goated. I'm actually goated. How did I remember that? Oh yeah, for sure. It's on the pile. It's on the pile. Yeah, you know, like I don't want to give the impression that I don't read popular books, you know, like for instance, for instance, okay, the book I'm reading right now, I am reading The Myth of Normal, and the reason why I found that book because I saw it on my bookstore. My local bookstore has like a wall of like the best-selling books at the moment, and I saw it and I'm like, this sounds interesting. I'll read it. And I'm reading it right now, and it's actually a really, really interesting book about trauma, illness, and healing in a toxic culture, as it says right here in the little text. You know, and for instance, I started reading Obama's, oh my god, Obama's book. His A Promised Land. I started reading A Promised Land, and I couldn't keep reading it because I kept tearing up. I kept tearing up, hearing his voice, hearing him talk about, you know, the current state of politics and, you know, the 2016 election and 2022 or 2020. It made me very emotional. One day I'll go back and finish that book, but, you know, again, you know, that was a big book at the time. Do I have any plan of reading Michelle Obama's book? Not really. I like Michelle Obama. I think I listened to a big chunk of her previous book, but I just, you know, I'm not in the mental space to read that. Ooh, so many comments. Crab asks, what is Pokemon 1? Okay, is that the meme of like what is that is definitely the meme, isn't it? Because clearly Pokemon number 1 is Bulbasaur. Now, the original Pokemon is Arceus. Arceus is the original Pokemon, the god of all Pokemon. Now, the first Pokemon genetically is of course Mew, and the first Pokemon that was ever designed by Game Freak was of course Rhydon. So, the answer, of course, if we're using the nomenclature of 1, it's Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is Pokemon number 1 in the National Pokedex. Peter says, at one time I could do all 151 Pokemon in numerical order with their Pokedex description. Yo, honestly though, I thought it was Pikachu. Nope, the first Pokemon that Game Freak designed was in fact Rhydon. I mean, I am a Pokemon nerd though, you know? I love Pokemon. I grew up with it, you know? I was like the perfect age to get into Pokemon. I got into Pokemon and I got into all the fake Pokemon games that followed, you know, like, oh my god, what was the robot one? Robot Pokemon game GB. Robopon! Oh my god, I remember Robopon. Oh my god. Mom, you know, you can copy my homework, but don't make it look like it's, you know, clearly a copy. Also, by the way, we can all agree, by the way, that Metabots is absolutely a Pokemon ripoff. That being said, though, Metabots freaking rules, though. Metabots! Oh my god. Metabots is absolutely goated. What a stupid idea for a story. Just give kids robots to fight. It's as dumb as Pokemon, but Pokemon gets away with it because it's the first one. Now where am I? Pikachu's 25 and Meowth is 52. Yo! Also, yes, that was in fact the Sun version of Angelic Layer. Oh my god. I have not thought about Angelic Layer in so long. I hate that Angelic Layer is a manga by Clamp, by the way. And Clamp? And it is canonically in the same universe as Chobits, and I can't get over that. Now, what book are we talking about? Charles is reading Hell Followed With Us. Oh, yeah! Cassette Breasts. Cassette Beasts! Oh, definitely not Cassette Breasts. Whoa. Let me look up what Cassette Beasts is. Oh, yes. Yeah. I like your idea, Topes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Charles says, not to spam Chat Kitty, but I'm like 100 pages into this book with no momentum despite the stakes. I feel like I should care, but I don't feel motivated to read more. See, that's my biggest nightmare. That is literally like that's why I brainstorm the way that I do, I outline the way that I do, because I hate the idea of my readers reading 100 pages of nothing happening. I hate that. I despise it. I stay up at night tossing and turning, hoping that I don't ever impart that horrible condition upon any of my readers. Now, again, Charles, I assure you, I don't think you could ever sink that low. I don't think so. I feel like it takes a very specific type of wordy writer to get there. But for sure, yeah. Like that's the kind of book where like I would drop that book right away. It's just because like I just don't have time to spend the first fifth of the book just with setup. You have to give me something from the start. You have to give me something to care about. Like, I feel like it's really bold of a writer to be like, yeah, no, just sit through the first 100 pages of this book, just like not knowing who to cheer for, or what should be happening, what's the internal conflict. Just here's 100 pages of nothing happening. Now, Peter says, it's a very real fear. I'm always uncertain if my stuff is moving forward or if I'm just waffling on. I love the idea of waffling on, by the way. I just picture a waffle sitting on the floor, and it's like, that waffle is going nowhere. So I think that as a writer, you being aware of that is enough for me to feel confident that you're not actually doing that. Because the writers who do that are the writers who are not self-aware enough to notice that they're, they may or may not be writing a book that is, I'll just say it this way. If you need 100 pages of setup, why not just cut those 100 pages and make a book that's 400 pages and it jumps right into things right away without, wasting the reader's time. No. I don't mind it. I like it. Did I get that right? Or, oh, by the way, is slang from where, by the way? I would love to know. What is waffling on? Or where is waffling on slang in? That sentence made more sense in my brain, but unfortunately, it's out of my brain now. And for all of you to analyze. Also, we have in fact completed the tier list, by the way. Now, is there any books here that I absolutely recommend? Well, if you want to get into an RPG, get Starforge, by the way. Yeah, British. It's British. Oh, you know what? Waffle on British slang. I always put British with 2 T's. I'm very sorry. I know it's wrong. To talk foolishly or without purpose, to idle away time talking. Interesting. The slang comes. The verb waffle seems to have its origins in the 1690s as the word waff to yelp, possibly in the imitation of yelping of dogs. Oh, cause dogs go wuff wuff. That makes sense. Yo, I learned something today. That's fun. Northern Ireland / Ireland. It essentially means to keep going on about something, rambling, if you will. Ah. Yeah, by the way, Automod can be really, particular on YouTube, so, feel free to, try to let us know what you were trying to say. So yeah, definitely, if you want to get into role-playing games, Iron Sworn and Starforge, absolutely good. I do recommend the Chilluminati podcast if you want to lose, hundreds of hours of your life, and have fun doing it. On the manga categories, Love Me For Who I Am and Boys Run the Riot if you're queer as hell. Crossplay Love if you want some good trash. And if you want probably the best manga out right now, Spike's Family. As for nonfiction, true crime, we keep the dead close. It's intense. If you want literally the best audiobooks of all time, Nick Offerman's With the Deer and the Antelope Play, and Colin Joust's A Very Punchable Face. Thank you, Meredith. Yeah, no, that's definitely never spam. No, yeah,
everyone's required to tell me that I'm cute. Come on, go and tell me I'm cute.
Yeah, you actually don't know that I have 2 modes. There's regular me right here, and then there's
Gremlin mode. Yeah, Gremlin mode.
But yeah, also thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Peter says, I'm glad my silly languageisms taught you something. Yo, I love etymology. I love learning about language. I love learning where words come from. Like, that's why Google, every time I enter a word, it just auto-completes to etymology at the end to find out where the word came from, you know? And again, like, I like sometimes guessing where it comes from and seeing if it makes sense, you know? Sometimes words come from a place that makes sense. Like, you know, waffling on as being, you know, an automatopoeia for, you know, the sounds dog make, you know, woof woof. It makes sense, actually. And that's really interesting. I just love language. As a writer, I'm really interested in language. And as for fiction, I don't have any hard recommendations, mostly because Charles' book is not out yet. But yeah, these are the books I read in 2022. How many books am I going to read this year? I've actually already read quite a few. I'm a little bit stuck right now because I have 2 days left to finish The Myth of Normal, and I have like 20% left to go. But so I guess what I'm gonna do as soon as I finish the stream, I'm gonna go back to listening to that. Actually, I have 12%. No, I have 12%. I can make it. Ooh. Peter says, honestly, Sam, I found an awesome word for my book, woad. It can mean to go mad, but also a really old world word for woods or forest. It's the perfect word for a cursed forest. Yo, I love that. Also, thank you, Cecile. That actually means a lot because I know you're a librarian, so it means a lot to me. You know, I've always been a little. Bye, Crab. Have a lovely night. I'm always a little self-conscious because, you know, I just read whatever I want to. You know, I don't pick up a book with the intention of like, oh yes, people are gonna think I'm really cool when I'm reading this in the subway. In part because I don't actually, you know, I don't ride the subway. But also, you know, I guess, okay, all right, here we go. So in the culture that we live nowadays, where everything can become part of social media, especially as a content creator, everything I do can become something that, you know, goes up on social media for social media points, you know? I could upload every time I finish a book. I could put up a review somewhere. I could put up a little image somewhere. And I could do that. But that also seems like a lot of work. And it seems like something that would invade the privacy of my time and my personal life. I still think it's important. Okay, sorry. Viewers can't see this. Cecile says, I'm a librarian for children, though. That counts. But you know, I'm always self-conscious. I like, you know, I'm like, you know, like, I don't want anybody to be like, well, I mean, I guess you're allowed to think less of me, I guess, you know. Is Max less cool because they didn't read, you know, so-and-so's fantasy novel that everybody was crazy about last year? Maybe, I guess so. My goal has never been to be cool, so I guess maybe I'm just self-aware for no reason. But yeah, I intend to read a lot more stuff this year, particularly because I'm not gonna fall down the Chilluminati hole ever again. That's the good thing about catching up, you know, to 200 episodes of a podcast, is that you don't have to go back there. Also, yes, Kitty says, that's my job, I read the big books. It's so true. Kitty reads the big books for me. Yo, Charlie's so right, though. Charlie says, children books are so important that I hate when people look down on them. It's so true. Reading is cool. If you read, you're cool. If you don't, you're cool too. I don't make the rules. I love that, Cecile. That's so good. Also, yes, yeah. Children books are so important. Yeah. Definitely, by the way, if anybody's looking for queer manga recommendations, for sure, I definitely, Boys Run the Riot, Love Me for Who I Am, and Crossplay Love, for sure. Oh, Cecile, not Cecile. Yeah, that's how it's pronounced, right? Yeah, see, there you go. Meredith, someone after my own heart. I read books from every genre. I don't care what people think. Yeah, that's the way I like to look at that as well, honestly. You know? Don't worry about it, Peter. You're good. But definitely, you know, I just pick up whatever excites me. And again, I use books as a way to research for things that I'm working on, you know? So when it comes time to write that book about a cult, I'm gonna read like 3 books about cults. But yeah, we have extra time, and I was saying that we could do a little bit of RPG design. I don't know. What do you all want to do? We got like 30-ish, 40-ish minutes. I like Peter. I barely speak English though. I wouldn't be able to tell. You have done a great job at tricking me. Toby says, oh, I kind of want to write a horror-ish book, but I'm not well experienced in making people scared. Well, I mean, that's something you could always research, you know? I think when you don't know how to do something, the easiest way is to either A, see how other people have done it, or B, jump in and figure it out as you go. Oh, Peter. You're good, you're good. Let me take a sip of water. Yeah. See, Meredith has a good idea right there. Write about what scares you. Because I think, Toby, not to call you out, but I feel like there's an inherent flaw in your argument. Because you say that you're not well experienced in making people scared. Sure, that's possible. I don't think I'm well experienced in doing that either. But I think that I have plenty of experience in feeling scared myself. And you can always take from your own experience to find inspiration to write. Yeah, as Cecile is saying, there are different levels of horror though. Like I read The Luminous Death and The Rust Maiden, and I was horrified because of the body horror. It was awesome though, I loved it. Yo, honestly though, listen, Stephen King wrote a whole novel about a dog, so like you can do a whole novel about a door. Yeah. But Peter is on the money right here, by the way. If it scares you, then there's a good chance it will scare someone else. Charles says, I am scary, but only on accident when I scare my coworkers by walking quietly. I am very jumpy. I am absolutely very jumpy. So like anytime anyone is like sneaking up behind me, I just jump and I yelp. And I'm like, eh! Eh! It happens all the time. Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that. Also, there's such a wealth of fiction with vampires in it that you could use as inspiration as well. Oh, thank God. I thought I had lost the tier list. Let me just download the image before I forget. God, I really wish I hadn't read The Final Girl Support Group. That book sucks ass. Alright, what's the chat saying? A mirror that says, I have been accused of sneaking up on people because I have soft footsteps. You're sneaking, huh? You're sneaking about, aren't you? Peter says, my greatest horror book would be having to talk to people on the phone. If you can make that a book, I would be I'd be terrified. Same. Cecile says, some people just have soft, quiet feet, and some people have fragile hearts. Is me. I have the fragile heart. If vampire the monster or the protagonist? Oh, that's it. I mean, both interesting. Both options sound interesting. Chip says, same. Anytime I'm in the store, I get lost in my own head, and some worker comes out to help me, and I jump 5 feet. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I have pretty good, like, sensory awareness when I'm, like, shopping, but, like, at home, though, man. That's true! Charles makes a really good point! Horror has a lot of subgenres. It can be a romance with spooky elements, or a drama like Crimson Peak, a comedy, and more. It's true. Man, everyone is so smart in this chat. I don't even have to say anything insightful. I just read what people are saying in chat. What a life hack. Life hack! Get yourself some smart chatters. Charles says, I love horror elements, but all of my horror books definitely have another genre mixed in, usually dark fantasy and drama. Toby replies, I kind of just want to write about morally gray monsters who kill people or something, not exactly horror, but like dark. See, that works. That works for sure, yeah. See, like, I like taking a second to, like, really, like, brainstorm what you actually want to write about. Because I feel like now that you have, like, you know, unwound the ball of yarn, I feel like you're arriving at, like, you know, maybe it's not necessarily horror. There might be horror-like elements, such as, you know, the descriptions of the way that these monsters kill people. But, you know, not necessarily, you know, a monster going bump in the night, you know? And a group of, like, teenagers in a cabin or something, you know? Oh, I've read good things about... I've heard many good things about Mexican Gothic. By the way, I should read the full comment, by the way, for the people watching the stream. If you liked Crimson Peak, says Seal, you can read Mexican Gothic. Same vibes, same. It scared me, but some people weren't scared at all. That's interesting. Has anyone read Bird Box? Because I haven't. The good thing about just having my reading list out in public is that people can be like, have you read X and X book? I'm like, nope. Oh, yeah. Honestly, so Chippity says horror about making phone calls like some kind of call center could be funny, actually. Some things are way more dreadful when the visual aspect is omitted. That's true. It's interesting because, like, that to me, that could almost be like a Junjito story, honestly. Interesting. Oh, that's an interesting twist there, Topes. That's true. So Fifi coming in with the goated opinion, or the goated play. So Fifi says, somebody could consider being a vampire an existential horror, being trapped as undead and having to drink blood and stuff. That's very true. That's very true. Charles says, oh, I definitely explore the fear between being something between living and dead in my a work in progress. It's super tasty. Hell yeah. I'm happy you're having fun. I'm already thirsty again. Also, is the timer going? Is the timer going? Let me double check. Oh, the timer is in fact going. 4 minutes left on the clock. That's fine. That's fine. We can make this work. All right. So I'm thinking. I was talking about maybe doing an itty bitty little bit of working on the role playing game. Would y'all be interested in helping me make a random table for the role playing game? I was talking about making a table of fantasy races and animal species. So Fifi says, and then there's the giant ball of deadly fire on the skew line every day, man. Toby replied with, I could write an existential dread comedy between a zombie and a ghost who both originated from the same human body. Yo, that's interesting. That's so interesting, actually. Also, Tobias coming in with the goated reply. A true horror is being sick the last 2 weeks before an exam. Woof. That one's rough. Where was I? Where was it? Where was I? There, here it is. One of these, and then one of these. Alright, and... let me also, I should probably also just tweet out that we have changed the channel. Let me just go here. Let me just go here. Let me, I am thinking of making a post on Twitter, on Tumblr. That was something a little bit like Kokomo by the Beach Boys, by the way, which not intentional, but that's life. Let me just go over here. We have switched modes. Book ranking is over. Come help me make an oracle of random fantasy races and animal species for my cozy RPG. And I'm gonna give me the dice emoji. Give me a dragon. Give me a picture of Oyster smiling. Thank you. And then send it. Send it. And then I gotta go to Tumblr. I gotta go to Mr. Tumblr. The chat is going. I can see it on the side of my face. But unfortunately, I have to do the social media requirements. There we go. Kitty. Kitty. Toby says, funny is I had an idea for a bug-like character who shed shell skin, came alive, and the new body is like, whoa. Honestly though, yo, okay, not to be like, that's a Pokemon though, but that's Shedinja though, and that's dope. I kind of like that idea. That's absolutely how Shedinja works. Can I say, by the way, Shedinja, kind of cool. Kind of love Shedinja. Okay, so I need fantasy races, animal species. Okay, so the way that I'm envisioning is that in the role-playing game, No worries, Alexa. Thank you for coming to the stream. It was so nice to see you. All right, so in this role-playing game, this is a cozy role-playing game, like Stardew Valley, like Animal Crossing, like Story of Seasons. And if you want to play like a fantasy game, you can. That's why I'm adding a table of fantasy races and all the other stuffs. So you can just roll on the table and be like, hey, the mayor of the town is this age, and what fantasy race are they? Or what animal are they if you want to play this like it's Animal Crossing. So, I will be opening the floor to everyone who wants to. Ooh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, just because the idea is similar to Sedinja doesn't mean it has to look like that at all. I like the idea of it looking like Hollow Knight for sure, yeah. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna need some fantasy races and some animal races, by the way. Or animal species, I guess, actually. Make it 150, buddy. Let's go. So I don't think we're gonna have 100 races. I don't think so. But I'm just making the table anyway, so I can space it out later. So clearly, I think we can all agree the no, it's not the default race. I hate that almost came out of my mouth. Humans are in the setting, of course. They're probably the most boring race of them all. And humans also exist in Animal Crossing. Also, I kind of like human being under the animal category. That's just a nice little max bid right there. So, could people in chat just start screaming? I mean, like, maybe we could fit 100 races. It's unlikely, but we might be able to. Can I get animal species from Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing? Ooh, okay, we're going. But first and foremost, by the way, I'm very sorry for doing this at the start of a break, but everybody hydrate, by the way. Oh, we should definitely have the elementals, by the way, for sure. Absolutely. But everybody, can you please, everybody just get up and stretch your legs and you know, have something to drink? What's a hummus? Hummus animal. I mean, I'm here for it. Oh, there's a weird animal. There's a weird one. Oh, yeah. Isn't there another? Oh, it's the Highland bull. Looks like a water buffalo, but like blonde. Crazy. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm making so much money in this game, you guys. Look at how much money I'm making down here. Oh my god. I'm goating out. I'm goating out. Oh, I should make myself some hot cocoa, but then the problem is that if I step out of the stream, everyone's gonna leave, so that's unfortunately life. Okay, so honestly, you know what? I'm gonna just put like buffalo, water buffalo, bull slash cow, I guess. Definitely sheep's for sure. Wolf, cat, goat, dog. Should we have different breeds of dogs, by the way? Oh, yeah, Charles coming in with the Greek theme. By the way, I missed a few. So they have to be goblins, elves, of course. I'm gonna have fairies slash fae, dwarfs, I guess it would be dwarf, ogre, orc. Can we make it 100 races? Fairy, but spell it as pretentiously as possible. Oh my god, yes. Yeah. Of course, yes. Oh, the hummus in Noita means spider. Okay, never mind. I just found like a water buffalo. Okay, definitely. Oh, okay. So you know what? I think bird folk for sure. Yeah, bird folk. Actually, you know what? How about this? Okay. How about what if we actually do a little bit of a sneaky little trick? Okay, we have animal folk, and then you actually roll on the animal table, like half human, half roll on the animal table. You guys like? Oh, there should definitely be skelly people. I love the idea that like if you get the animal folk one, you have to roll like, oh, like my character is half man, half sheep. Yeah. I like spelling fairy as fairy, Faerie, but that's Neopets. Yeah, okay, so there should definitely be avian folk. Cat girls, but for real. Oh my god, skeleton. Zombie for sure. That's for Danny, by the way. Definitely merfolk, by the way. Half human, half human, half human. I love that. I absolutely love that. That means that, okay, you have to roll one. You have to roll the exact number on a D100 twice. That means that it is a 1 in 10,000 chance to get a human who's half human, and I love that. I'm here for that. Okay, so okay. I guess, okay, if we're gonna have dwarves, then if we're gonna have elves, then we also need dark elves. Dark elves, also known as underground elves, really. I guess, okay, so if we're gonna do all the flavors, then we also need to have wood elves, by the way. Also known as wild elves. I like calling them wild elves, actually. Someone please feel free to tell me if that's wrong. In that case, we need high elves, also known as urban elves. Oh, I like Kitty asking for the succubus though. Okay, so plant folk for sure. I do actually, you know what? Blooded elves for sure. Succubus slash incubus. Well, if we're gonna need like 100, then I'm down for everything. I mean, we already have zombie and skeleton, so like hit me. Gorgon for sure. Did I do Minotaur? Oh, Minotaur. That is not how you spell Minotaur. Your Honor. Also, someone could be like, well, Max, isn't a Minotaur just like half man, half bull? Yeah, but we're here for the numbers, okay? Oh, definitely Dragon Folk, by the way. Dragon Folk. Okay, can I get a legally distinct name for tieflings that isn't tieflings, by the way? Is it just, do we want to call them like Demon Folk? Horned Folk? Oh, a Dullahan for sure. Oh my god. The idea that the mayor is a Dullahan is just getting me. Because we're gonna have Angel Folk, right? I guess just Angel. Demon. Devil. I feel like... No, I guess... Oh, I will stack them. Demon and Devil are a little bit. In that case, we need Angel Folk. And then Demonkin? Ooh! Okay, you know what? I actually like Angelkin, aka half human, half angel. And then Demonkin is half human, half demon. The Dullahan baby mayor. Oh, this should definitely be a ghost for sure. By the way, I love the idea because we have one of our jobs that we have is ghost. So I love the idea that you can have like, hi, I am the ghost. What is your job? I'm the ghost. Let's see. Minotaur, Dragon Folk. Oh, Naga? Oh, I do love Nagas. Naga / Lamia. Oh, Cambion. Oh, they are half. Yeah, okay. Also, by the way, for the sake of hilarity, I will also add half human, half roll again. That way you can have someone who's like, yeah, I'm actually a quarter Angelkin, by the way. Which, like, that's immediately the most pretentious person in the whole town. Actually, someone wanted nature elementals, so elemental. You know what? Okay. Elementalkin. I guess Elementalkin is actually people who are half elemental, half. Oh my god, okay. Okay, water elemental. That means you're like energy. You're like just a puddle person. Water elemental, fire elemental, wind elemental. What's the other one? Earth elemental. Also, of course, the other elements, light elemental. You know what? Actually, shout outs to the elements of Chinese mythology, by the way. Wood elemental, metal elemental, what else? Oh, darkness elemental, and then of course cosmic elemental. And now I need to do these all over again, but also for elemental kin. What's the name of the elemental people in Dungeons and Dragons? Denasi? Is it the Denasi? Did I just pull that out of the back of my skull? Elemental kin, water, elemental kin. Can I just copy you? How many of you is it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's the Gensai? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I just have to edit you. You are fire. You are wind. You are earth. You are light. You are wood. You are metal. You are darkness. And you are cosmic. Oh, it's Genasi! Ah, what the hell is Denasi then? What the hell am I thinking about? Genasi makes way more sense. I believe Genasi is like exclusively D&D, hence where we're using elemental kin, by the way. Alien, I do kind of like, you know what? Alien / extraterrestrial. Also, by the way, I like this so much that I'm actually also popping. I'm also popping alien and no, I shouldn't. I was gonna put aliens in because aliens should show up in Animal Crossing. That's all I gotta say. Now I like gargoyles. I mean, like, you know what? I mean, we need 100 of these now. So, goblins. Can we get any other flavors? Okay, did I put dark dwarfs? I haven't written dark dwarfs. Dark dwarfs, also known as underground dwarfs, by the way. Can I get? Should gnomes be in this game? Can I get a yes or no on gnomes, by the way? It's halflings. Can I get a yes or no on gnomes, by the way? Or no? Should I allow the possibility of those filthy creatures known as gnomes to exist in our setting? Okay, so let me see. Yes, says Charles. Do we have giants? There should be giants. Okay, I put ogres. There should be giants. There should be trolls. Okay. Cecile says gnomes. So gnomes it is. The gnome. Genasi's absolutely copyrighted. Oh, so it's time for everyone to learn how to do a numbered list on Google Sheets. So here's the way that it works, okay? First off, let me bookmark this because I'm about to teach you how to make a numbered list on Google Sheets. So first and foremost, you get yourself your first cell, right? And you enter the number 1. Now, on the cell underneath that, you're going to make a little handy equation. You're going to hit the equals sign, and then you're going to select the cell above it. You're going to hold shift, and then click. So what this is that this cell over here, actually, I already lied to you, by the way. I'm wrong. Okay, you do equals, you click on the cell you want, then you do +1. This means that this cell equals the cell above it +1. You hit enter, and now you have the formula. You copy the cell, and then you paste it. Boom, here you go. That's it. Equals the cell that you want +1. This is also a way to do calendars, by the way. For instance, let's say that today the date is 1/17. So I want to make a calendar. Okay, we select the cell, we do +1, boom, and then we just copy the cell, and then here you go. You made a calendar. Easy peasy. Also, Sofifi, you have read my mind, by the way. Of course there should be mechanical people in this game, because we do whatever we want. Robot race. It should absolutely be a robot race. I want robots, but that's a fantasy. Automatons? You know what? Automaton it is. I like automaton. Automaton. Should there be tree people? Wait, it doesn't work if I just write 1 and drag it down? I don't think so. Don't mention the gnomes. We have giants. Automatons. Is there a better name for automaton? Tree people. Okay. Oh, hi, Anya. It's funny, because your last name is Willow, which is the name of a tree. You know what? Treant it is. Treant. Also, by the way... Oh, Toby said robots? Okay. But I like robots. Of course, it is not particularly fantasy, so automatons, I feel like that's the way to go. Treant. And also, did we do... wood nymphs? I guess that would be like elemental kin wood. Ants? Oh, wait, is Treant versus ant? Am I wrong? What is the difference between ant and Treant? Okay, Oh, legal rights? Excuse me? The Tolkien estate likely owns the names ant and hobbit. Okay, thank God, okay. That's why we call them halflings. Okay, thank God. Okay, so Treant it is. No worries, Cecile. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. It's so nice to see you every single time. Good night. I like Anya. I guess it makes sense I like trees. That's funny. Yeah, and it's not so much that ant is copyrighted, because you can't copyright, you can't copyright the concept of something being called ant. But the Tolkien estate has published books where there are characters who are trees named ants. So if you were to write a book about tree people named ant, you might be treading under copyright. Again, it's might be a little bit funky. Oh, I don't think we got werewolves, by the way. No, because this should be under the horror character category. So excuse me, werewolf, vampire, living mountain volcano with a face. I believe that would be either a fire elemental or an elemental kin of the fire variety. Can I get can I get some more traditional fantasy races if we haven't hit all of them? Should there be gremlins? I don't know. Goblins are like pretty much it, I think. Is there any funny races that I'm missing? I don't feel like we need different flavors of orc, by the way. Gorgon, Minotaur. I didn't do harpies. Oh, I mean, we did avian. Is avian the correct word, by the way? Avian word meaning. Relating to birds. Okay. I guess I should also have beastmen or beast folk. Mimic. Oh, I love a mimic. Scarecrow. Oh, we do have fairies. A rat. Oh, there should absolutely be a rat race. Also, by the way, rat, mouse. There should absolutely be a rat race. So rat folk. Because I just love me a little race of rat people. Okay, question. Okay, if there were to exist a race in this world that is literally Muppets, what could we call them? Well, like the doppelganger is someone who changes shape. I feel like that has enough character. The pale gangier, changeling. You know what? Also, roll again to see this guy's current form. Yes, I'm a doppelganger. Puppets? No. Okay, so Alexander's hitting me with the what? So, marionettes is not that bad, actually. So, we played a D&D campaign with Plaguesworth, and his character, the way he envisioned his character, it was basically just a huge, like an actual huge like what's the name of the big Muppet? Muppet huge one. Yeah, this guy. Literally, like his character. Oh, Sweetums? His name is Sweetums, really? His character concept was literally like this guy. And I'm like, you're not an orc. You're like a Muppet thing. You're like a Muppet. It's like a Muppet. Anyways. Puppet folk. I do like marionette, actually. Yeah, that campaign was so fun. We should go back. We should really go back to World of Questcraft. He pilots the ship in Muppet Treasure Island. Yeah, that's true. I remember that. That's where I know him from, actually. I was a wood elf idol. That's true. You were a wood elf idol. It's so true. Okay. Nightmare dream creature. I feel. Have we really run out of all the classic fantasy races? Because okay, I guess we have like angel and demons. We have dragon people. Oh, Charles, figure it out. Go, Charles. Hit me. I mean, you know what? I mean, like, am I gonna have Siren and Harpy on the list again? That doesn't feel super fun. Cypher says, Muppet Treasure Island has summoned me. Yeah, let's go. Okay, are there any other Halloween monsters that we could toss on this list? Because, you know, skeletons, they show up in World of Warcraft as the zombies in the form of the undead. Is there a race we're missing? Ah, yes, let's go. Sprite? Mummy? Mummy? Sorry? Mummy? Slime! There should definitely be a slime! Okay, Tobias, give yourself 10 max points. Oh my god. We already have a ghost. Thank you, Peter. Oh, slime is so good. Anubis-like creature. I think that would be like a beast folk, honestly. It would be... What is the name of the dog-like creature that Anubis is based on? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anubis is a blank. What the hell what are you shaped after? Jackal! Jackal! Sorry, everyone in chat is yelling at me. Sorry. I don't know if I like the idea of a mythological creature just becoming like a fantasy race. Although then again, there was really only one Minotaur, so, you know, sorry to be pedantic. I do like Jackal as an animal race, though. My brain keeps going like Kappa and Tanuki. That works. Okay, Toby says demigod. I feel like, honestly, you know what? I'll put demigod in there. Why not? You know what? You know what? You know what? Why not? Why not? Kappa, pandas. Alex, I know what you're referencing. Also, that would be beast folk, by the way. Maybe someone who was altered by magic in some way and roll again to see what that base is. Not sure what to call it. I feel like we could like wrap that into doppelganger / changeling. The Uku. Uku. I don't know what that's a reference to. I don't see it. Also, what? A hybrid of two races? You know what? Okay, that should definitely be like number 100. So, hybrid, roll twice and pray. We already got Gorgons for sure. Okay, alright. So I feel like we have gotten as much as we're gonna get out of magical creatures for now. Let's change gears, by the way. Oh, the Uko. Okay. Let's see. The Uko. God of Thunder of... Okay, the first result is someone's freaking, like, computing company. I hate that. Estonian mythology. The god of the sky, weather, and harvest, and thunder in Finnish mythology. Interesting. It's like a blue person. Are they always depicted as blue? Interesting. Okay, can I get animals now? Let's do some animals to, like, kind of cleanse the palate real quick, okay? Animal Crossing animals, please. Chinchilla, for sure. Squirrel, chipmunk. Pandas, for sure. Bear. Oh, of course, yes. Alligator. Crocodilator. Guinea pig. Gator, pandas. Oh, I don't know if spider counts, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna need more than the Sodernia. I like you coming with burb. I'm gonna need more than burb. Fox? I don't know. Okay, so Animal Crossing rules, okay? Fish and bugs are not animals. Many birds. Oh, mouse. Have I done mouse? I have done mouse. Let's go. Rabbit. Wait, hold up. Yeah, rabbit. Wait, is the rabbit already here? No. Rabbit. Bunny. yeah, I'm gonna do rabbit slash hare, I guess, because they're just bigger bunnies. All the birds. Frog and toad. Frog slash toad. Owl. Peacock. One of you. Oh, raccoon! Raccoon! Raccoon dog! Sorry, that's a reference to Don't Mess with Ahsoken. Eagle. Okay, so which of you is gonna just open up the Animal Crossing, like, all villagers list and just farm max points? Rooster slash chicken. Hyena is so good, by the way. Hippo is so good. Oh my god. Rhinoceros. Sorouse. Monkey. Monkey. Oh, this should be an axolotl, by the way. Axolotl. Duck. Seal. Very good, very good. I'm ready. I guess I would put, like, small bird? No. I mean, like, I guess a bunch of them are just birds. Oh, lion for sure. Koala. Deer. Pig. Kitty's just farming points, by the way. Dolphin, whale. Oh, manatee for sure. Manatee. Okay, what's the name of the mammal? The water mammal. It's kind of like the orca, but it's smaller, it's white, and its head is just, like, squishy. You know which one I'm talking about? It has a very squishy head. Oh, capybara for sure. Elephant. The beluga, yeah! Oh, the beluga I love the beluga. Its head is just smoosh. Capybara. Have I done? Oh, horse. Elephant. Horse. I did rhino. I did bear. Oh, capybara has a C? Oh. Was that the British spelling, by the way? Oh, Kitty's just farming max points, by the way. Alright, Kitty, give yourself 400 max points because we've been married for 4 years. There you go. Octopus. Gorilla. Penguin. Alex, how dare you? What's a quokka? Oh my god, they're so cute! Oh, wait, are these like... Wait a minute, do they have pouches like kangaroos? Yo, these little guys have pouches? You know what? I'm completely down with someone having to, like, look up these guys. Quokka. Let's go. By the way, the first result on Google is, can you touch quokkas, by the way? Oh, there should definitely be a possum, by the way. Pelican. Dodo. Possum. Oh, wombat! Oh, there should definitely be a wombat. Oh no! Peter says they smile. They also throw their babies at predators to run away. Oh, rip. Hedgehog for sure. Hedgehog. Oh, do we have pig? We have pig, okay. Oh, we have hog? I guess pig and hog are really close. Okay, I'll stack them. Next up is reptiles. Have you seen a wombat in real life? You know what? Wombat. Real life scale. Okay, hit me. How big is a wombat? They weighed from 42 to 71 pounds? Oh my god, look at this big boy! Everyone stop! Look at this massive unit! Guys, look at him, he's so big! Have you ever seen a boy that big? Look at him! He's huge! That's a Yanto! That's a Yanto wombat! Oh, we definitely should add dragon, by the way. Oh, honey badgers don't give no Fs for sure. That's a big Yanto! Ostrich is so in the money, by the way. Ostrich. Kangaroo. Oh, I forgot about all the reptiles. Okay, okay, lizard. Gecko. Oh, isn't lizard and gecko a little bit on the money, though? Chameleon. Oh, tortoise slash turtle. Dragon. You know what? Why not? Snake. Yo, we should do sap pits for sure. Oh, have we put cat in here? Okay, cat is in here, thank God. We don't want to do like animal breeds, right? Okay, so Toby says bee. Unfortunately, in Animal Crossing logic, bees are not animals, unfortunately. Bees don't count. It would also be weird because we have a job called beekeeper, so it would be funny that you're like, I'm a beekeeper. I am the bee. I am the keeper of the bees. What else? What else? Am I just gonna look up all the Animal Crossing races? Which sounds kind of bad saying it out loud. Regrettable? Regrettable. Now that's true. Oh my god, we definitely did not do ape/gorilla. A giant gorilla. Just like in my old video games. Villagers. Okay, what have we missed? Do we just have bird? Because I'm like, it's hard to describe, like... Okay, so, because all the birds that we have here are inherently different from just the general idea of, like, a bird. Oh, tiger for sure. Oh my god. We have squirrels. Oh, an otter for sure. Oh my god. So we have pigs. I have a list on the other screen, by the way. Crocodiles. Anteater. We have owl, actually. Thank you, Ania. Ania? Buffalo, water buffalo. I guess you should be water buffalo. Even though they're not the same thing. Yes, water buffalo and buffalo are not the same thing, but you know, that's life. Hedgehog, we actually already have a hedgehog. Yeah, can you send me the list later? But right now I want to see what else we can get. Oh, you know what? It should be tapir. How do you spell tapir? Is it just T-A-P-I-R? Yo, tapirs are cute though. I like tapirs. Tapirs look like they're from like a fantasy video game. Tapir look like a Pokemon. Oh, there should be deers! Oh my god. Deer. Moose. You know what? There should be a dinosaur. Dinosaur, yeah. Yeah, just put dinosaur in there. Raven. I know you didn't mean to put raven in there, but I actually like raven/crow, by the way. All the corvids, basically. Hamster! We need hamster. Oh my god, thank you, Peter. Oh, we do have frogs, actually. Do we have deer twice? We do have deer twice! Tobes, give yourself 100 max points for spotting that. Holy crap. Holy crap, just saved my life. Okay, question, chat. Can I get some magical animals to put on the list, by the way? Because we have dragon, we have dinosaur. There should be some funny magical animals, so please hit me. Give me your best fantasy animals, please. Unicorn? Oh, unicorn definitely for sure. Oh my god. Jackalope. Oh, a jackalope definitely works. Oh, zebra is absolutely not a fake animal. A hippogriff? I'm not sure about hippogriff. Although it is kind of dope as hell. You know what? Jackalope, by the way. Jackalope. A part of me is like, am I gonna have a whole section in the back of the book explaining what each of these things are? No, look it up. Oh, hey Kendra. Hey Kendra. I totally didn't call Grady Hendrix a hack and a bad writer. Anyone who likes him is bad. The hippocampus. Oh my god, how dare you? Pegasus. Oh, a phoenix for sure. A phoenix. I feel like wyvern kind of fits into dragon, honestly. Reverse centaur, how dare you? We're having a serious brainstorming session here. A kelpie. What's a kelpie? It sounds like a Monster Hunter creature. A kelpie is a shape-shifting animals. Okay, yeah, that's more like the fantasy section. I'm not gonna lie. Wolf, penguin, elephant. I'm actually going through the Animal Crossing villages, by the way. So you're just a bear. You're just a bear. The hippos are kind of cute, honestly. Big top. Oh, goat. We have goats. We have goats. Oh, let me look up goat. Goat/ram, by the way. Although, actually, now that I think about it, it should actually be sheep/ram. Now that I think about it. Oh, Toby, kelpies are horrific. They drown people by having their stick be sticky. That is horrible. That's horrible. You know what? I allowed Hippogriff. I kind of allowed Chimera. Why not? Let's see. What am I missing? What am I missing? Cats. That's a penguin. That's an ape. That's a crocodile. You just look like Ganondorf. I'm not gonna lie to you. Horses. We have horses, right? There's no way I forgot horses, right? Thank God we have horses. We have bunnies. I'm only in the sea. Excuse me. We have octopus. I feel like I'm starting to see repeats now. Is that panda literally doing like moves? Also, oh, yo, Kitty, you're having tomka soup? Let's go. Tomka soup, incredibly goated. Goose? That's a little bit close to like a duck. Alright, y'all, come on. This has to be some sort of fantastical animals you want to throw at me. Come on. There has to be at least one in there somewhere. Yo, Peter, though? Peter says favorite soup, leek, potato, and bacon. I'm a simple man. Yo, honestly... Okay, I'm not putting a moth person. I'm gonna put it here though. Mothkin. Also, can I get a name for people who are like spider people? Can I get a name for the fantasy race that is spider people, please? I don't want to just write Spiderkin. Oh, I guess I could. Spiderkin. Spiderkin / Scorpionkin. Arachne? Oh, the Chupacabra? Oh, absolutely not. Spinners? Is that a thing? I don't think so. But it sounds cool, though. By the way, in case anybody's wondering, I'm scrolling through this list right now, by the way. We have you, we have you, we have you, we have you, we have you. That we literally just added you a second ago. You're in there, you're in there. Deer. Did I put deer? I put deer / moose, didn't I? There's deer. Okay, perfect. Babe, it's 2. It's a 2 o'clock already? Oh, no! Wait, flamingo, by the way? Okay, I'm calling it here. Okay, it's time to go. It's time. Wait, hold up, guys. It looks like Yanto is like batting away the mouse pointer. By the way, Winnie was telling me the other day about ties between Tasmanian tigers and the chupacabra. Super interesting theories plus history tidbits. Yo, that's fun. Hell yeah. As someone who may or may not have, listened to 200 episodes of the Chilluminati podcast, I can tell you, I love a conversation about cryptids. Nonetheless, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. It's time for me to go. It's over 2 p.m. And I know because Kitty has to go have lunch, and she's getting some tomka soup, and honestly, I can't keep her. I can't stop her. So I want to say, first and foremost, the music you're hearing today in the background is Lo-Fi Leah. Lo-Fi Leah's on YouTube and on Spotify and everywhere. Check them out. They're lovely. And they gave me permission to use their music. And just for that, they're amazing. The app I use to be a VTuber is VideoTube. My books are on MKirinAuthor.com. I thought... Were you just talking about good soup? Oh. Well, nonetheless. Anyways, I want to let you know, by the way, that we have a Discord, by the way. I'm dropping the link right now. Also, books. I have books. Also, by the way, before, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Leave a like in the video, and subscribe. That means a lot to me. That helps the YouTube algorithm know that I matter. Oh, Charles making a list of soups. That makes more sense, actually. Yo, Charles, can I say how much I appreciate you're making, like, the food table for me, by the way? I mean, you're not making it for me, but, like, let me just say that I may or may not ask for that table once it's done. Support me on MKirinAuthor.com, and by the way, thank you for coming to the stream. One last thing that I want to say for anyone watching the VOD or just, joining us, support me on coffee.com/MKirin. You get warm, fuzzy feels. I get nuggies, and we're working towards our goals of unlocking art streams. You can watch me make art on stream. Preferably art for the RPG. And also, you can watch me draw 151 pokes from memory. Yay! Tomorrow, we're going to be returning to the world of survival horror. That's not true. Tomorrow, we're going to be returning to the world of making a role-playing game. We're going to be working on Iron Valley, the working title for this RPG tomorrow. So please come join us tomorrow for more designing of the RPG mechanisms. And yeah, more tables, more fun, more comedy, more of everything. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. And as things are winding down, I want to take a second to say that, you know, if things are tough out there, you're having a tough time, I just want to let you know that, you know, even if things seem like they're going to be bad forever, they won't be, you know? Eventually, this feeling that you have right now will pass, and the good days will return, and all I ask you is just to keep going until we both get there, okay? I love you. Please take care. Thank you so much for coming, and I will be seeing you all next time. Bye-bye!